Rodeo is part of the American Rodeo Contender Tournament and one of 4 super contenders.
I love those old
This weekend,
buildings.
winners will go on to
Little
the
building
Western
setups.
States.
Yeah, so, hey, Madison McDonald.
Chance to win a spot
Oh,
in the
oh.
American Rodeo.
Have you watched any of those junior rodeos, like the junior
Oh,
rough
yeah,
stuff?
it's so funny. I know some
I
kids that
don't
can.
know if I could put my kids in that.
I think you should get on one. I think you should get on a
I did the
steer.
wild pony racing when I was Miss Rodeo Canada.
Okay, that's pretty sweet.
At Okotoks, I did a front flip by accident.
Really?
I landed it though,
Okay,
right
that's
over
good.
the neck.
Because I've kind of wanted to do that. Like Dale Bruce and I will talk back and forth a little bit if I have questions and stuff. Like he's really good at just like helping out and stuff. And I kind of want to, when I go back to Texas, be like, yo, I'm gonna be close.
Yeah.
Cowboy go gets on the bull question mark and like just get on one of his freaking lopers.
Does he have a lot over there? Like, does he have different types of cattle?
Yeah,
Bulls.
I think they got a pretty good setup.
We're on air.
No.
We got air. I don't know about you, but I love seeing like the vintage film.
Oh, it's the best.
Yeah.
The best wildest cowboy hats, best wrecks.
And just even comparing some of those videos, it really wasn't that long ago, and you think about how this sport has developed into what it is now.
Oh, especially in like, you look at like bareback riders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tie-down numbers. I mean, literally everything. Honestly, team building. It used to be bronze to hip and everything, right? It used to be really, really tore up everybody.
Well, and you look at the size of the cattle, the roping cattle or the bulldog and steers.
I got some really cool old photos of Papa and Shaq roping calves back in the 70s. And like
Monsters.
big old calves stepping off the left side. So cool. Haley Kendall cost me winning something in the NFR pool last year. She was my only person. She placed 1 round.
That was Denver too.
Yeah.
This is where dreams are chased.
Really?
We are live. Perfect.
Dennis, the American Rodeo Contender.
Yeah.
It was like intimidating that building.
Really?
Because we came in on the buck and shoot side, and it took us like a whole event to walk to the time limit in. Like stopped for a beer on the way, ran into some people on the way, finally got down to the time limit in.
I've just heard that stepping inside of the American is like,
Oh, it is
oh, it is
Lucia.
Lucia.
Nice.
The Grand National Rodeo starts moments.
Oh, I'd love to announce beside that guy one day.
He's great. But I watched the series that came out when he was young and on the road. And the first time I ever met him, I told him about that. He's like, we can't be friends.
He can't hide from it. That is his reality.
Once something's on the internet, it's there to stay.
Forever.
Forever.
Forever, ever?
Yeah.
Beauty though.
Okay, we should make some predictions. Who do you think tonight is gonna... Okay, we're running with the first section of the saddle bronc riding first. And we have 3 out. Tucker, Reed, and Roman.
I'm going to go, I like the name Reed.
You're gonna go with
Actually,
Reed
I'm going to, yeah, Reed Neely. I like that. I think he's going to be a high score.
Okay, if you're going with Reed, I'm gonna go with Tucker.
Okay.
First out.
Setting the bar. Breaking the ice.
Bar today. And of course, over 2 days, it's gonna be good.
This is going to be good. Rodeo in Cali? Let's go.
Yeah.
We need more Cowboys in Cali.
Cowboys in California. I'm looking forward to watching Manu. He came. I'm trying to think of the last time I saw him perform. I don't think. No matter how many times you see that guy perform, it doesn't really get old.
It's electric, yeah. It's still different every time.
And it's an art of trying to read cattle.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to stick in with one of those big boys.
No.
That's
No
why I was
way.
laughing this year at Strathmore when they told me that they're running with the bulls. They were bringing manused bulls for it.
Really? Oh, and they did.
Yeah, not
Those
just
big
old
Mexican
buckers. I
fighting
couldn't
bulls.
believe it. I was like, oh no.
Absolutely insane.
But it made for phenomenal watch.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. They must be doing a pumper video right now.
must be. Boots by the Bay. Oh, I bet you that's a sweet old Western shop.
Oh. But we'll see some fast times in the breakaway roping.
Always a fan favorite.
My favorite. Love watching that. And of course, my favorite, the steer wrestling. No surprise. Oh, Graded Champions. We got some rodeo queens tonight too.
Nice.
Cole was a rodeo queen back in his day. Little britches.
For
rodeo
Halloween.
queen. Halloween's coming up. Who out there is going to be a bull rider, rodeo queen? I think those would be like the two main things you go for Halloween if you were gonna
Yeah.
rodeo.
A buckle bunny.
A buckle bunny.
A rodeo. Hey, do rodeo clowns go as cowboys?
Oh, rodeo clown.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
That'd be a good one.
With some baggy pants.
Here we go.
Nice, kicking off.
Look, they look like they got some good fans in there tonight.
Rowdy right behind them.
They like being on the camera.
Yeah. How'd they know?
Waving. It's like us tonight.
The American Rodeo happening April 11th and 12th. It is the crown jewel of professional rodeo. It is the richest weekend in professional rodeo. Over $3 million will be paid out over 2 days.
23 watch.
How do those competitors get
$3
there?
million, man. That's so much money to be paying out. It's life changing.
I find the strategy in the way that they allow people to enter and qualify. They give everybody an opportunity to be able to qualify for the big money,
Yeah.
which is cool. No other main event or main rodeo, like no other rodeo does anything like that.
No, I feel like a lot of other associations are so much based off of their own internal circuit
Yeah.
to qualify for big money events. Like, it's really cool. An underdog, so to speak, can walk in and
Clean house.
clean up. Oh, easy.
Easy. You're getting rowdy like those fans.
Yeah.
Break it down.
Yeah, buddy.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We can be
I can give you some
enthusiastic.
enthusiasm, Alicia. Heck yeah.
Let's show you enthusiasm.
But before we go any further in this event, before we start our competition, which is a big time opportunity, we want to take this opportunity to talk about something that's very near and dear to our hearts. That is this country that we live in. You know, this juncture of our nation's history, there is a spirit of division that is being pushed upon us. And at this juncture of our year, during an election year, there is so much division.
Yeah, that's coming up. Like 20 days. Right.
This place. We don't think about Republican or Democrat. We don't think about red or blue. We think about the red, the white, and the blue.
Nice.
It is this country that, despite its faults, in my humble opinion, despite all the things that people say are wrong with this country, it is
nation served by the heroes. Served by men and women who every single day, whether they're in our United States Armed Forces and they protect our freedoms and the lives that we love, or those that protect us right here in our cities, in our towns, in our communities. Coming into the arena now are the group of heroes. As we focus our attention on the arena floor, it is a group of heroes that represent the Daly City Police Department, the North County Fire Authority, the Daly City Youth Explorers,
Fired
and
up.
the
I know.
San Francisco
I'm ready to go.
Sheriff's Department. It is those men and women that represent the thousands, the hundreds of thousands of people who every single day wake up.
That's one other thing that I love about rodeo in particular is that I find it's one of the only sports, and maybe it's because I watch it the most, that recognize heroes, that recognize first responders all the time.
Really go out of their way to get in the spotlight.
And I find it makes you, a lot of times it makes me leave events thinking about a bigger picture, like more than just what I'm watching.
Yeah.
The white and the blue of old glory.
Big old flag.
As those heroes stand before us, it is now my honor and privilege to welcome in a young lady who just is 17 years old, has performed at this rodeo for many, many years. She's a senior at Liberty High School. She's in Brentwood, California. And tonight we welcome into the arena Zena G to lead us.
I feel like also, even when you're at home sitting on the couch watching TV, that you have to stand when they
I know.
present
I was
the anthem.
literally thinking, I'm like, I'm definitely taking my hat off.
Yeah.
Probably gonna have to stand.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, yeah.
We'll bring our. Let's raise it.
There we go.
Beautifully done, Zena Jean. She will be performing in the main North Concourse immediately following the rodeo, so make sure that you stick around and witness her singing the incredible song she sings.
Do you get nerved up when you have to sing the anthem?
I do. To everyone out there, I've sang both the American anthem and the Canadian anthem at rodeos or different events, and I honestly don't know if there's anything else that makes me more nervous because it's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, that is the nation's anthem.
And if you mess it up, or all of a sudden you get put on the spot, and you know that you can forget things. You forget your anthem
Yeah, that would be
with how patriotic the people are and everything. It's one of the worst things that you can.
So tonight's a
Throwing
big
up the
night
flag,
in the
it's
world
rodeo
of
time.
professional rodeo. Tonight's a big night.
Also, one of the biggest,
History.
I don't even know what you say, it's just you don't do it, is ever let your flag touch the ground, especially on horseback. Like if something happens, it's like sacrifice everything else before you accidentally let the flag touch the ground.
If you got an open beer and you fall down and you keep it up.
You gotta keep it up. It cannot touch the ground.
Momentum into the opportunity for $1 million payout. How do we get the big dollars? It's because of great partners. We welcome in your rodeo queen. Let's
The nerves are probably running so high with this because there's a lot at stake. The champions of this are going to move on to Vegas, and it's like a shortcut.
Yeah.
Shortcut to more money.
Bring them on in. Let's go.
But there really isn't no shortcut because talent and hard work gets you where you need to go. But
The thing is, like, you might be able to shortcut your way from trying to beat a lot of really tough athletes, but like anybody who's made it here is also going to be very hard to beat.
Oh, yeah.
In the most grand fashion possible. Our great partners at Cetamonte Ford, and of course, Boot Barn, America's largest Western wear retailer.
that's a nice horse.
Find your
He's just a
Western
good old
Western
guy.
near you by going to bootbarn.com. As those
And then you
flags
see
make
some
their
flag
way
horses
into
that'll
this
take your
arena,
knee off at the
they
game
see
because that's all they do in their entire career.
tonight, not only the competition,
Run
but
fast.
Come on, go
partners
fast.
like E-Tix,
Oh.
K-Bay, Southern Hospitality, Cresco, Garden Tractors, and Heavyweight Trucking. Those are
Sun
the
Hero
partners
was the
that
pickup
make it
line.
all possible.
Yeah.
But I need to know how
They
many
got
y'all are
there.
head of the buck and shoots and ready to get this party started.
I find it so funny because these horses in particular, like bareback horses or saddle bronc,
riding is where the competition will
when they're back in
begin.
the holding
In
pens
Bay
waiting to
Country
get
Buck and
sorted
Shoot, as we welcome those
versus
two
when they
men wearing
hear
red
the
shirts.
anthem or
One from
hear
Marysville,
things start to
California,
rattle,
Bronco
they've
Bayline.
just changed their
Yeah.
attitude.
It's
Like they
crazy
know.
how they know, eh?
It's crazy.
Now making his home in Sacramento. That is Shannon Riggs.
Roman.
Roman.
Hey, who are you betting on?
Your rodeo pickup man.
Reed. You had
They
Reed.
got
Yep.
their position
I got Reed.
perfect.
And I'm betting on
hopefully
Tucker.
Roman Reyes
Fully
can
And this is
continue his
solely,
position perfect.
we don't know
Big
these
time
guys
opportunity
personally.
on Colt
So this is just
45.
us guessing. Colt 45 is a pretty sweet name
That is.
for a horse.
I just want to sing the song so bad. Ross's Rodeo Coat. There we go.
Holy
Ooh.
smokes.
45. That
Ooh,
is
go
the name
on,
of that
man.
beautiful black horse. From
That
the
horse looked like he
Bayou
was gonna
Rodeo
just stack
Company.
up
That is
outside the
animal.
chutes.
As we bring the lights all the way up for this competition, that is an animal that has been
So
on
this
so many
event is
occasions
marked out of
following the
100
National
points,
Finals
50
Rodeo,
points for the horse,
but is
50 points for the
recognized as one of
rider.
the rankest bucking horses
There's
in
a
the
lot of
country.
just little things that'll go into what
It is going to be a
gets you a high mark or a low
67-point
mark.
ride for
We can
Roman.
kind of talk about it as we go back
67.
here. One thing
And
we
that
want
is
to
going to
watch
set
for
the
is
bar as we
when this
continue
horse
on in our
kicks in the back
competition.
end, like right there, he kicked out decent, but he's not stretching
Sanger,
all the way out, and
California's
that's something
Reed Neely.
judges will take into account.
Many times
How well
Shepherd
his feet are
champion
moving
in
on
the
the
Golden
horse,
State
he was
of
having trouble
California.
finding his timing and his
4
first stroke.
times over.
So those are
This
all
man
things
has
that'll.
showed
So a
us
67,
big
yeah, unfortunately,
time
they're probably right
clutch
on.
rides.
Yeah. But in the grand
You don't
scheme of
become
things, it's not an
champion by
ideal
being mediocre.
mark.
Yeah.
You become
for
a
that
champion
today.
by when all the money is
What
out
do you
on the
think would be a
table.
good mark
You
for
do what
today?
you need to do.
I guess let's wait and watch this first section of bronc riding to kind of see the caliber of horses and guys, and then guess by
Yeah,
our
right.
second section.
Oh, here's my pick.
Here's Reed.
Come on, Reed.
8 seconds was the
You
goal,
got
and
one
8
shot,
seconds
one
was
opportunity.
achieved. That
Yeah.
amazing animal,
Oh, yeah.
the Flying
That's a nice
Rodeo
horse.
Company, has carried Cowboys.
So I
with
find
Ryder
like that's a
Sanders
horse that a
and
lot of guys
Chase
would call a
Brooks
hopper,
to big-time
which is
money
like
inside the Thomas and Mack Arena
one that you want to
for
get
National
on, one you know
Finals
you can
Rodeo.
really show off
In
and ride
Reno,
good.
Brody Kress and
Um,
Lefty Holman capitalized on him
That's
as well.
an ideal horse to get on
Now
and
you
just
are
make a
watching the
decent ride.
Big
replay
time.
of an
And a deal like
incredible
this,
ride.
100%, because it's kind of on you to
And
just
it
go
is
do
going to
your
move
job.
to number one,
Make a ride.
79 points.
100%. He kind of stacked up nice there out in front of the chutes.
Kicked most of the way.
So
Give up a
this
little
is
at
the
the end,
first
but
of 2 sections of saddle bronc riding. The
79. So yeah,
The standard events of
Good
rodeo.
ride.
We also get the opportunity to see 2
I think we're
sections
gonna
of
see some
ladies
rides
breakaway
tonight.
roping.
Mid 80s will be our peak tonight. I'm gonna guess.
Shannon Riggs and
83
Bronc
came to
Bainline
mind.
are gonna
Okay,
escort
83.
it
I think
out.
that might.
Who's not
That's
quite
my
ready
guess.
to get out of the arena. Parents, can anybody relate to this on Monday morning?
Kate Tucker's got I'm Your Tab.
Either way,
I love that. I work for a stock contracting company, so a company that has bulls, bucking horses, whether it's the bareback event or saddle bronc riding event. They raise horses from
right now,
babies,
you are seeing
foals
the
up until
personality
they're in the prime of their career, competing at the Super Bowl of rodeo.
beautiful big long horse.
And one of the most fun and unique things is getting to name the babies. And you'll see some absolutely crazy names out
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah.
Tuck and
Big time.
reverse.
Eh?
Well, do not forget, if you already haven't, to go to Rodeo Picks Rodeo picks.
Crazy names and then just random names like
Yeah.
Ferg.
Or like Dill Pickle. Like just
Tokyo Bubbles.
yeah.
Make sure you go to American Rodeo.
And then the cool thing is,
there.
if you have a really cool,
Join us in Arlington, Texas.
you look at different bloodlines of horses.
Great
So
job, fellers.
say the mom is,
All right.
I don't know, say around
Chuck your
black
boy.
feathers, and the dad
This
is
a horse that just a few
Night
weeks ago I
Stalker or
watched
something
in
like
our
that. Then
Cowboy
you'll see a lot of
World
these
Champions
babies that
Fisher
come out of
Run
these
with the
horses
Marysville
be named with the same
Stampede.
names
I'm
or
your
something
dad.
similar to the mom and the dad.
Tucker Bourdette,
So you
just
can almost
21
tell,
years
like,
old, has
oh,
already
that
stacked
horse
up
came from
wins.
this horse,
And
or
Prescott
that was a
runs
great
today.
horse. I bet it come
Already
from this
stacked
horse.
up wins
Kind of
from
cool to look at
Norco.
the lineage
Let's
of
get
that.
another one
It is,
tonight.
yeah, because it stems so deep.
Yeah. Okay, Tucker. We're gonna win.
But he's got a good mustache on him.
That horse was
That's
a
gotta help.
handful. to
Oh,
say the
oh,
least.
yeah.
Head.
Every single one of these
Oh.
animals
Just covered a lot of ground.
love it.
He kind of
And if
faded
you
off
love
at the
that
back
ride,
end
tell
there.
'em
That horse
something
covered a lot of
good.
ground, like you said.
Big.
That is a thick
That's
horse.
a big bull.
For all the new fans in rodeo, you might be wondering, well, how do we get the score? Well, there's two pro officials.
Okay, and you see how the pickup men there? The pickup men are the two guys on horses that are kind of circling around, making sure the cowboy can get off safe from that horse, and you'll watch him here.
Cowboy 1 and 25 on each side, with 50 being the max. And we are going to get a score of 70.
He didn't have a very strong start, did he?
There was a lot of that getting
overall.
kind of jerked back and
In our
head
first
snapping up.
section of
When you see
Saddle
their
Bronc
head
riding
come
is gonna
back like that on the cowboy, that
to
just goes to
a
show you the
close.
power that that horse
Reed
has
Neely,
moving
79
forward, pulling on
points.
his arm.
He
This
is the
whole
number one
terrain.
man. Take a look at the
78 and a half.
leaderboard.
Okay, so you beat me on this,
Fans,
this
the
first
group of
section
bucket
here.
horses and Cowboy.
We got some more Broncs to watch later, I guess, eh?
Yeah, I think so. Reed Neely. He's the
So
guy to
now
beat
as
so
we
far.
get ready, we are going to open the gate wide because we've got an opportunity to introduce
Nice.
another one of those great
Good
young
start.
ladies. That
One of the cool
represents
things
pro
too is you
rodeos,
see
the
how the
rodeo
pickup
queen,
man
which you
man
welcome,
who's
Miss
behind that
Gilroy,
Grand National Rodeo sign,
2024,
how he
Violet
led the
Lafreniere.
horse out by its halter, which is the
Thank you for being here, Violet.
halter. What would you call, like a strap around the horse's face?
Yeah.
It's like
There's
Oh,
Violet, but now it's
that's
time to
what you
meet the young lady
Or describe it as
who is
basically
reigning supreme for the last
large
2 years,
leash.
represented the
Yeah,
Grand
pretty
it
much
is.
like what
Rodeo
you'd put on
for
your
the
dog
Cow
and collar,
Palace.
you
She
know,
made
it
nearly
just
100
goes around
appearances
their
at
head. And
rodeos, meetings, conferences, parades,
And the
community
cool thing
events.
about these
Every
bucking
single
horses
time
is
she
that a
was
lot of them
proud
are
to say
trained
she
as
was
babies to
representing
give
the
to
Grand
pressure. So same
National.
thing as when
Say
you're walking
hey
your dog and
to
you're wanting to turn left and you
Emily
pull that
Elizabeth.
lead or slightly tug it, the dog will come towards you. They're giving to your pressure, and it's the same thing with these horses, which is kind of cool because they're taught from babies to give to that pressure, and then they're rewarded with their freedom.
Yeah.
But there's
Yeah.
another key component to this game.
Well, how many
that we
horses
played
do you get to
tonight.
work with that are
He is a man
big time
who's
buckers in
making
the
his
arena, but then when they're
debut
turned out at home in
appearance
the pasture, you can walk
at
right
the
up to
Cow
them.
Palace
Yeah,
in Daly
so
City.
many.
He came
But
all
it's
the
funny
way from
because
the
when they're
Shelby
at the
Missouri.
rodeo, when they
He's
walk
one of
off the
rising
trailer,
stars in the
they're
sport
kind of
rodeo
scary.
when it
Yeah.
comes
Like
to
some
being
of them
your
just turn on this
entertainer.
attitude
Make
where
some noise for your
it's
rodeo
like don't mess
clown,
with them because
Disco
they know it's
Dawson
time for their job. They
Boyd.
might only work 8 seconds at a time,
Yeah.
but then at home they're just the friendliest pets and you can feed them out of your head.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. Oh, who's this? Oh, I thought he was gonna do a flip or
I thought he
something.
was too. I was like,
oh,
Palace.
he looked like he was gonna set up for something big.
It is Friday Night Live. We're at the rodeo.
Could you see yourself doing
Best
this?
part about
No.
today is
That move right there?
nobody
I mean, I
has to
have
go to
done
work
that move
tomorrow, okay?
on multiple occasions.
What's that mean?
Was it
That
on
means
purpose?
we
No,
get to let
just
our hair
kidding.
down. We get to have a little fun. So let's try it again. How we doing, Cow Palace? Anthony.
Well, some people have to work on a
How you
Saturday.
doing,
Well,
dude?
that's true.
Oh, I couldn't be better.
To those people,
American
I
Super
tip my hat.
Contender Tournament. Big
Not me.
opportunity for rodeo, and more importantly, if you're a rodeo fan, this is a place to be on a Friday night.
And we've got a lot of rodeo fans here. Last week we were here, and we gave away a special prize. And we're gonna
So
do it
Anthony,
again
who's
tonight,
the guy
too.
announcing and talking
It's
right
gonna
now,
be to the
he's the
funnest,
reigning
to the rowdiest,
announcer of the
to
year
the
in the
best rodeo
Professional
fan
Rodeo
here
Cowboys
tonight. It's gonna be
Association.
our
He's a
Yeti
pretty big deal.
It's a big
fan
honor.
of the night, okay?
Well, Dalton, we need to bring
Big
the
fan of
lights
the
all
night.
the way up, not only
I
so
always
we can
wanted one of those
see the
when I was a
rodeo
kid.
fans,
You got one?
So that we
No.
can get ready
I've
for
never
our
won a fan
next
of the night.
competition.
Have you?
Nope.
And Dalt, am I correct in saying
I just
you're
was rowdy
looking
at the
for
wrong
one
times.
fan to be named the rowdiest, the loudest, the wildest, the best fan in this house?
Here we go. So now we're moving from a rough stock event to a timed event.
They call this the big boys event.
Yeah, big man. The linebacker.
Skier wrestling time, let's go. Willie Redfern,
With some of the most athletic dudes.
Oh,
you meet.
Willie. That is a young
So this is the only event rodeo where you have a helper.
Yeah.
Technically.
True. A helper that doesn't get paid if you win.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
he
Right
smoked
on
his
his
head.
noggin.
Oh,
That's gotta
check
hurt.
that
He
man.
paid us money to compete before you. Why don't
Yeah,
we pay
He's
him
seeing
off?
stars.
A little bit of
hard.
that California love.
I want to see what happened there to old Wilson.
Oh man.
He's all right, but that hurt.
Yeah, you're gonna feel that one. You might.
He lost his glasses too.
Do not forget as we continue on in our competition
That's too bad, dude.
that you're going to have the opportunity
Man,
to
that's the thing
relive
about
this
rodeo.
event
One
as
day,
well as all of
You're
the
on top of the
rodeo,
world
American
winning,
Rodeo Super
and then the next
Contenders,
day, humble
December
pie.
2nd,
Yeah,
8
feast
a.m.
the family.
Eastern on
Yeah.
Fox
There's a
Sports
joke
1
that like
for a
if you
four-part
catch a
series
steer
highlighting
close to the chutes, you're in the steak aisle, but if you run them way too far, you're in the cereal aisle because you're only gonna win enough money to eat cereal.
He did.
Coyote,
Fox
California.
Sports, the
What
official
a cool
home
place to be.
of the American
So the
Contender
horses
Tournament.
that these guys are riding are some of the coolest athletes as well because they are completely different in a rodeo arena atmosphere like this than they are at home. Like they're fire-breathing dragons right now.
Yeah, big time.
They love to run and they love to rate. Well, hopefully they love to rate. The good ones like to rate.
4.8 second run, and that is money.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So the flag doesn't drop and the time doesn't stop until all four legs are facing outward. So if he catches a leg underneath, that time isn't going to stop until all those feet are pointing out sideways. And the judge with the flag is the one that calls that time. Right here.
So it's all about having a goal to shoot.
Maybe you could explain what rating is and how important like a horse that'll
Dane Brown
rate
now
good
is
in
an
the box
incredible
or
run.
rate good out in the
So
field.
we say a big
Yeah.
thank you to our partners at Republic Services, McGuire, Hester.
Like you're trying to
and
get yourself
Heavyweight
into
Trucking.
a position to
We
be
get
able to
ready
get
watch
down
a
off of that
Cowboy
horse
from
onto
Chelsea,
the steer.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And so your horse has to be
that
able to
has
have
been
the
on
ability
a
to kind of
heater
read
when
the
it
play as
comes
well.
to
If this steer is trying to
making
step
big
a little
runs
left, a little
on
right,
big
or if he's
stages.
staying straight, that horse needs
Levi
to be able
Rudd,
to
2 years ago,
kind of work off of your rhythm
This year, the
and off the
California
steer's rhythm,
Rodeo
match
is
the
latest
timing of the
champion.
cow, right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's crazy because those steers can just up and stop in the middle of a run, turn left, turn right, and that's what the guy on the other end, the hazer, is for, is to help direct that steer in a line where he's going to be at the best position for you to make.
so there's
See
a
what
prime
happened there.
example. Yeah, 100%. Steer comes left, right, and that really sucks because like that guy, that's a tough steer to win on, and this is one of those rodeos where you kind of only get one
Okay,
shot to
Anthony.
move on. And
Yeah, buddy.
I know you probably already did this, but
and all
can you
these steers are
explain this to
pre-drawn,
me
too.
real quick?
Yeah.
so you know, I don't know if this guy would have known that that steer was
Oh, there
going to
you
do
are.
that.
Sorry.
But if you can find
Where's
information on
Waldo?
your animal, then you can make a game
Yeah, I
plan.
found you.
So if
What's
one
up?
does step left
you
like that,
explain
you know
this
you're
to
gonna have
me
to
real
bring your
quick?
horse down the wall of that box
I'm not sure
and
what's
really help your
going
horse
on
get
right
over into that
What
new
do you mean you
positioning
don't
to
know
then
what's
run
going
hard.
on? We just had a 4.8-second run.
It's crazy how many
So these
details can
guys
go
are on
into
perfectly
a
good
3.2
horse.
to a
They jump off of a
5-second
perfectly
run.
good
There is
horse
so
onto
much
a
that has
large
to be
farm
broken
animal.
down.
These
Oh,
guys
it is
are
going on.
stupid.
Stop. No, they're not. They're adrenaline junkies. They're daredevils. Brandon Green, it's time for you to do what you do, brother.
They always say that. Why would these guys want to
Grad
jump off of
student
a
at Cal
perfectly
Poly.
good horse?
He's a Mustang.
Well, it's just like any sport or anything. You become, I don't know, you become crazy and addicted over it. To the feeling it gives you, to the success, to the highs, to the
So,
lows.
by round of
It's just
applause,
like
how
hockey
many
or
of y'all are
football.
watching your very first rodeo?
Oh, here we go.
By round of applause, how many of y'all are
Oh.
happy to be back at a pro rodeo?
Work to get that sucker rolled over.
Well, for all the new fans, listen up. You might be wondering if you watch the replay, why didn't the flagger drop the flag as soon as the steer's side hit the turf was because all 4 feet of the animal have to be rolled out right there. Once the feet are rolled out, that's when our field flag judge.
I always wonder if that hurts your knees. If sliding into the dirt like that, coming off your horse at that fast of a pace. Because you see some guys that are wearing knee braces. Obviously, they've had a past injury or they got a weak knee or weak whatever, but that cannot be easy on the body.
It definitely looks like it
Speaking of pretty
decreases
women, I've
your joint
noticed
life every
The week
impact.
that I've been in California,
Have you
that
ever
there's
tried
a lot of
bulldogging?
I
good-looking
did,
ladies
when I
here.
was younger. And I
Right?
just got packed away. by
Where's all
these
the
two, but it was
good-looking
not
ladies
heavy.
at, huh?
Oh. Look at that rodeo
Where's all
queen.
the
I wonder who
single
she is.
ladies at, huh? That lady's so single she raised both her hands.
Hey, you also should raise your hand.
Oh yeah, get it, girls.
Well, Brandon showed us a 7.8-second run. Now let's check out what Owen Redfern can do. Kern County Cowboy Owen,
Hey, who do we got?
and the steer pulled the brakes.
I think we have 6 total in the
Cowboys
steer
went
race.
flying right on by.
Oh, here we
The
go.
National High School finals.
Oh, ride by.
National
See how that
finals.
steer almost tried to
Bakersfield,
stop?
California is going to
As
get
soon as those guys
in
got
no
close to it,
time.
you see his head come up, and he was
Yeah.
no
like, "No,
guarantees
I don't
in our
like
world of
this."
rodeo.
And
There
these
are no
steers will get
salaries. Every
smart.
single one of these
They'll start to trick
players
you and
paid
fool
to be
and
here.
fool
They're
around
paying
and
entry
make it
fee.
hard for you to do your job.
If it doesn't go their way, then it is no money, and no times is what bring no money.
When something happens so quick like that, a lot of time it's muscle memory that comes into
Everybody
play,
clap their
but
hands. Come on.
there's so many variables that can happen in that short period of time that I don't know. Just like you said, it's a humbling sport.
It is, yeah.
If your neighbor is not clapping their hands,
Like,
point
fired
them
up
out.
in the hands.
How many steers or calves do you think you've pushed in your life? And when I'm talking about pushing them, he's the guy that's climbing in the gate right there, and he's going to be pushing that steer out to make sure that he gets a good start.
By qualifying to the American, let's go, Drew!
In the tens of thousands.
Nice run.
Drew matted.
5.5
Looks like these guys are riding the same horse.
That is going to put him number 2 overall.
Here we go.
Every single
Slide
one of
them.
the winners
Oh, good run.
will earn their
5 and
place
5. That's pretty
at
good.
the
He ran
American
him a lot farther than
Western
everybody.
Regional
He did.
Finals in Las
Way
Vegas.
cleaner on the ground.
But every single
Yeah.
buddy who
That was a
wins
nice steer.
money also wins points, counting towards the qualification into
Go.
that
Good
regional
start,
finals
too.
in Las
Let's hear
Vegas
his
happening
shot.
in January. So the steer wrestling is going to come to a close, and with a 4.8-second run,
So the horse
it is
that's
gonna
running
be
free is
none
the
other than
bulldogging
man who
horse,
wanted the
and the
green
guy
flag
that's on the
green
horse on the right-hand side is the
Maine
hazer.
Browning from
And so
Southern
now,
California.
normally these horses
Top
are pretty,
spot. What
what
about
do they
it for
call
the
it,
steer
like
wrestlers on a Friday night?
buddied up. So right away that bulldogging horse that's loose is looking for that haze horse, and then the guy on the haze horse is going to grab that horse and walk
Well,
right
as
out
you
the
take a
arena.
look at a
They're
steer on
like
the big
best
screen
bros.
right now.
Yeah.
They do everything together.
That is
Oh, it's funny to see
It's
when they
time
try
for
to
us to
separate them.
talk
They are
about
winning
what
and
took place last
cause all
weekend.
sorts of chaos if you try to
Last
separate
weekend
those
in
horses. They're
our
just buddied up.
Stillwater
Well, and they're
took
traveling
place.
together on a trailer for
432
however many
young
days of the
exhibitors
year.
showcased over
They become
1,000
best friends just like we do. It's kind of cool.
Cow Palace champions. The winners participated in the Parade of Champions in the Women's Rodeo Performance Night
Whoa.
Look at
Saturday.
his little piggy.
They were recognized.
That's not a little
Look at
piggy.
the intense look on that guy's face.
Their scholarship
Man.
winners were also announced, receiving a total of $11,000 made possible by the Grand National Foundation.
I never was able to go into 4-H. I did horse 4-H for a year, but I never did anything like this where you were raising an animal and selling it or whatever. But
Rangers of not only this great
Food for
state, but
beef.
also
Dave and I both we did quite a few years for
the
each.
Parade of Champions. You see the
And so it's up at the end of the year.
sweat and tears that it took
like you gotta learn the cycle, but
those awards.
it's tough. You put so much work and dedication into those animals.
Yeah.
The top agriculture state in our entire union. 2% of our nation. Close. Be proud of the youngsters that represent the FFA, the 4-H, and support them wherever you can. If you're proud of them right now, why don't you tell them all about it?
So anybody watching, I'm Alicia Erikson. We never even introduced
Yeah,
ourselves.
no, I guess we should, eh? Cole Robertson.
So there's all the great
Who coughs a lot there.
He doesn't like intros. He gets a bit nervous, as you can see.
as you take this opportunity.
Cole Robertson coming to you.
Realize how big
Contender
opportunity
Rodeo.
actually is.
Cowtown
When you think about
Palace.
opportunities,
And we're
you
friends.
think
We
about
didn't
the
grow up
American
together,
Rodeo.
but we kind of met later in life through the sport of rodeo. It brought us together. So, one of our strong suits in life is talking.
Yeah.
And that's what brought us here
They
today.
love rodeo and they love talking. So it's pretty cool to get to watch this one and talk about it.
Yeah. I feel like the American is just a bucket list rodeo for anyone. Doesn't matter how many, if you are a first time rodeo fan or if you've been to 1,000,001
Well, make
performances,
sure you
it's like
join us
the
as
American is the one
Rodeo
that you want to be
returns
at.
to Arlington, Texas on
It is the
April
big show.
11th and 12th. You saw the stars, and you're not going to want to miss
Life-changing.
the rodeo's biggest party
Where
in
legends
the
were
Lone
made.
Star State.
Yeah.
Make sure that you get your tickets now and have a fun-filled weekend in Arlington. You can go to AmericanRodeo.com and join us April 11th and 12th at Globe Live.
Okay, so this is Cole's event. I'm just gonna let him take over.
This is where it gets good, everybody.
You got anybody at home that
I was
wants to
talking
watch
about how the
this
steer
event, make sure you
wrestling
go
is
to
the one,
TetonRidge
the only event where you have a helper,
You
but
can sign up for free
team
today
roping
to
is
catch
the
all
only
the
event
action
where
from the Rodeo
I don't know. I
All-Stars
feel like
as
things
well
get
as
heated between partners because there's
Yeah.
two
Grand National
people
Rodeo,
to
all
make the
preliminary go-rounds.
It is
The
basically
streams that can be
like
viewed on
a
the
second
TetonRidge
relationship
Fast channels or by
with
subscribing
another human
to
being.
TetonRidge's channel
you gotta
on
travel
YouTube.
together, eat together, enter rodeos together.
You depend on the other for
How many of y'all are ready to watch the ladies of Pro
If you're
Rodeo?
here's a lady. This is cool.
Nice. The
Jesse
emerging.
Jacobs from the
I'd say that
Pacific
predominantly
Northwest
this is a
state of
man's
Washington.
event in the sport of
Oakley,
professional
Washington,
rodeo,
breakaway roping.
but there are some
Get around
women
the animal, detaches from
that
the
are
saddle horn,
absolutely dominant.
and the flag is dropped.
I think we're breakaway open now.
Oh, are we breakaway?
Yeah, I think they switched it up on us.
Oh.
They're
Well,
showing
would
us
have went
too.
to 2.7 in the number one spot by 0.2 of a second.
No.
Actually turns into a 12.
Just kidding. We're
we
starting
started.
things off with
For all the new
the
fans,
newest
every single
event
one of
to
our events,
professional
the
rodeo.
advantage
Yeah.
always goes to
It's
the animal.
been a big
The horse
event
riding and
in
the
high
bucking
school,
horse riding, it's the
amateur,
markout rule.
women's
In
pro
the time
rodeo,
events, it is
but
the
it's
pairing.
finally made its
You've gotta
debut
go
into
Oh,
professional
cool.
rodeo.
steer
which is
12
really
and
good.
7.
If you take
Dang,
it
so
away
that
from
string
her,
line in
it's a
front of her
10-second
that they're
penalty,
showing with
thus
the yellow
assuring
ribbon,
yourself no
that's
money.
the barrier line, and
Unfortunately,
so
it's gonna be a
every
12-7.
animal gets a head start,
12.7 for Jesse.
and then it's on you to what we call score. So you got to let that
Brienne Sharp is the
animal out
next
so
lady
far before you
from
can
San
physically
Luis
go
Obispo,
after them
going
to
to
do
Cuesta
your job as a
College,
rodeo athlete.
majoring
And
to
so
be a
unfortunately
nurse.
she left too early, and when
Her
you leave too
uncle
early,
Jack
you break
Roddy,
the
he
barrier,
competed
and
in
they
this
add
arena
10
and won the
seconds to your
titles
run.
in 1968
That's a
and
bummer.
1972. She rides a great horse named Otis.
Man.
Brianna Sharp carrying on the legacy.
And that's one of the
as a
toughest things is this
second-generation
event is so
cowgirl
fast
competing
that you can't
at
afford
this
any extra
iconic
time,
rodeo
but
with
yet
legendary
you have to
building.
have that start and give that animal that head
Nods her
start.
That is when the run will begin. When the rope detaches from the saddle horn, that's when the flag will drop. Whoop. Oh. It's going to be a no time.
Chatters.
Ooh, she looked like she hit a rope on something.
You're surely not going to
And
let her ride out
she-
of here in
That
silence, are you?
So there's only one legal head catch
We still believe
in the breakaway
ya.
rope, and it has to be what they call a bell collar catch, so right around the neck. If you rope him around the eyes, or if you rope him around the neck and he sticks a front leg in it, those are all illegal. It's got to be just around the neck, and your time stops when your rope pops
Sage
off your
Stadler,
horn.
Hilmer, California.
You do have a ribbon attached to the tail end of your rope,
Last night
so that
we
the
had a
flag
slide
man can, when
performance
it
and a
pops off, you can see it and you can
2.9
drop the
second
flag.
run is in the number one spot.
Oh, I got a toe. Tiger.
Ma'am, on the screen, it does not smell that bad in here. Come on, Sage. Oh, no. She went fishing and the line came up empty. It's got to be slick around the animal's
Sage
neck.
going after one.
Run him on down the pen.
Oh,
Oh.
What I love about
so
rodeo
that's what I was talking about, roped him around
is
the
that
eyes.
even though she didn't rope as
It's
good
gonna
as
go
she
nice.
wanted to, everybody's
Now
so
next for
hospitable
Sage.
here. Okay.
Yes.
Everybody on the count of three, go on.
Who we got
Ready?
here?
1, 2, 3.
Jenny.
Okay, little
Jenny
went louder.
Teasley.
You did not say sir. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Now I want everybody to get ready to say yeah for Jenny Teasley.
Oh, it worked.
Redding, California. Jenny, we want to be cheering for you. We don't want to say
Jenny
oh
Teasley,
anymore.
here we
We
go.
want to say oh yeah. These horses, they can feel the energy and the excitement in this arena.
Okay.
I always find like that. Do you see all those people looking at her? And I know she probably doesn't feel it because she's focusing on what she's doing. But I always think, like, oh, that would suck having all those
Clean
people just
run,
like
3.6 seconds.
scoping in on you as you're just trying to do your job.
Nice.
Oh, she's happy. Giving her horse a pat. 3 and 6.
There we go.
So you see how she kind of had to mess around in the box a little bit, get her horse sitting just right. And also, she could have been waiting for that calf to stand up or do something. We didn't really get to see that full extent, so it's important to make sure everything's right before you nod your head.
Look at this, look at this. What? Now we're flying high. 3.2.
Everybody left a little bit of Nickelback. Kane McKenna. Here we go.
Nice.
Oh, Money McKenna.
2 green runs. Let's go.
Let's go.
Just the perfect loop. That great sorrel horse. Ears perked up. Loves his job. Oh, Money McKenna. Horse's name is JJ Kaylee Travasky. Red Bluff, California, Tehama County Cowgirl.
Red light.
Horse's name is JJ Kaylee Travasky. Red Bluff, California, Tehama County Cowgirl.
Oh my.
Red and blue.
Speaking of getting tipsy, a big thank you to our partners, Jack Daniels, as well as Tequila Herradura. Go, JJ, yes! 4.3 for Red Bluff.
Okay, the hardest job as a rodeo announcer would be to pronounce everybody's names correctly.
For real.
4 and 3.
So the ladies are showing up and they're shining bright as we say thank you to our partners from Garten Tractors as well as McGuire and Hester Republic Services, the San Francisco Flower Mart, Sedamonte Ford, WW Livestock Systems,
The ground looks a little sticky.
and our partners, the Laborers International Union of North America.
So Fallon, is she next? Fallon.
Hello, people.
Yep. We're phony.
In the corner, we doing okay? Okay, what about this side? We doing okay over here? The far side, huh?
Wonder how warm it is in California right now.
It's probably
There's
so.
a lot of rowdy people here.
Rowdies are in the house tonight.
Valley City.
I mean, you can't come to a rodeo and not be rowdy.
Weather.
We call them the rodeo rowdies.
We gotta let her hair down and have some fun. Where's all the fun-loving people?
Fallon Raffoni.
It is.
Oh, Fallon.
Okay, this is in
California
Celsius.
Circuit
15
finalist, past
degrees.
Rookie of the Year.
Oh, so not as warm as I thought.
No.
Quest of College Cowgirl, and that's
Ooh, run him down the pen.
uncharacteristic, no time. I don't know the last time I haven't seen Fallon catch one and catch a bass, Mitch. I don't know.
What do you think one of the most challenging things
Can get done.
about being a breakaway
Your
roper
horse's
is?
name
Like about the sport
Rue.
itself.
Registered name is Roulette.
That's a big question.
Yeah, how about the sport itself? What do you mean?
Or the event itself.
Score.
Scoring.
Yeah, I think scoring's the biggest thing.
Oregon.
Yeah.
That is where she calls home as she turns her horse around that box. a matter of seconds.
And that's the crazy thing about rodeo is like every setup is so different.
Yeah.
So everywhere you go, you got to be able to sit there and watch and make adjustments and kind of either have people in your corner who are really good at like watching and figuring it out, or be able to yourself
Yeah.
and then trust your gut.
Right.
That's the other thing too, is like know what you want to see and commit to it.
And that's something that all of these athletes that are first out, as long as there wasn't a slack, I mean, they weren't able to see their cattle ran prior to this. And tomorrow, depending on if they redraw the same cattle, those athletes that are competing will get to see how their cattle performed for these guys the night before.
Yeah.
So that's almost a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, big time, right?
Marin.
That is correct.
Marin Powers.
When I go home to Texas,
I think she's our
still a
third.
49ers fan.
We have 3 to go.
It's almost got
She's
me
our
kicked
first
out
of
twice,
3.
but I'm sticking with it.
I don't know what it is about this event, but it's one that everybody in the
At
audience
least I'm not a Raiders
gets
fan,
riled
I
up
don't
over.
Crowd favorite. It's
Yeah.
fast paced. It's
You
fun.
have to say that whenever I'm in the crowd.
I really think people just love watching cowgirls
All
do
right,
stuff.
let's go.
Yeah.
Marin Powers.
Cowgirls are the best.
There's
No
some-
offense.
There's
But
some cool cowgirls.
She's got the power. She's got the touch. 3.4
Yeah.
seconds.
What a slow one.
oh,
Ooh, let
That
her
was-
play and she will pay.
that was luck.
Was
Was that
good.
luck? I don't know.
Man,
That was a
alive,
good
I
old
never
fish
knew
job
Breakaway
right there.
could be
Yeah.
so excited.
Oh, she got out
Here's
too.
replay. Just wait.
Oh man, what a floof to have.
What a
Callie
fluke.
Marsh.
That's a really good calf, especially if you know he's going to be slow like
She's an
that.
excavator.
Oh yeah,
can
she
see
waited,
it when
waited.
She's
Oh
not
yeah, what a good job.
and not roping for the win. Her horse's name, Rabbit. Come on, you wascally Wabbit. You be good for Callie.
Excavate. I always find it cool to see what careers these people have outside of the rodeo,
Yeah.
because most of them have to have a career to pay for the rodeo,
Yeah.
unless you win the American, and then you
Yeah,
can
then you're
just
good.
rodeo.
Jumps right to the left.
Come on, everybody.
Oh, she tried him.
She did try. She let it all.
She tried him. And like that calf stepping left like that, you're already a little bit behind the play, you know, so you really got to
Yeah.
try and reach over across that horse's neck.
Yeah.
That's a tough throw.
Hospitable.
Yeah.
Boom, yeah, he
You
stepped left
practiced
right
that,
away.
haven't you?
And for the record, I am
What a little
not
bugger.
a Raiders fan, okay?
Do you want to tell the people your team?
I'm not a big football guy. I am from Kansas City. Doesn't mean, hold up, that does not mean that I cheer for the
He
Chiefs.
has a Patrick Mahomes poster hanging above his bed.
Nice, dude. Let's go Chiefs.
You
I'm not a
sicko.
Bigfoot. I shouldn't say this on the internet, so I'm just not going to actually.
Just retracts the statement. It's like, I'm not, you
All
know
right,
what?
let's go.
Go teams. That's all I have to say. Go teams.
Go sports.
Go sports.
All around cowgirl.
Unless it's rodeo, and then we got
Auburn, California, let's
Then
go.
we can talk.
Emily Miller. She looks ready. All these girls' game faces are different.
I know it's the best, right?
Look at her.
Let me see your mad dog face.
Oh no!
Got her rope jumbled up a little bit.
I'm still a fan of Ginger and Emily.
Oh,
see.
around the ears.
We'll see.
That's too bad. I hope they show a
Emily
replay.
little bit later in the barrel
She hit her
racing.
rope
That
on
is gonna
something.
be a no time for her.
What's she got on her? The flies must be bad there. I think
As
she's
we
got a
continue on in our show,
tail bag on the back of her horse.
Oh, yeah,
Love
she
her
does too.
horse's tail.
breakaway roping ladies.
It's like a weird fray almost, eh?
Yeah. So a lot of times you'll have a tail bag on the bottom of your horse's tail.
Well,
And it's just to keep it pretty. Oftentimes you'll have the horse's tail will be braided, and then you put the bag on. It keeps the tail clean, keeps it tangle free. But then when the flies are bad, their tail is their fly repellent really, because they can wish off the flies. But if you got a tail bag that's just solid, they're just whacking themselves with their tail bag. So
You just hear it thump.
yeah. So that's why she would have the tail bag that has all the different pieces off of it. So the horse can.
Fringe.
Her horse has fringe and tassels.
We are grateful grateful for that group.
Yeah, there's team ropers
We're
hanging out
so
down there.
thankful
Oh
that
yeah,
Buddy
they worked
looks like he's been ready to rope
to make
for some
the
time.
Cow Palace
they're ready to
what
get
it
it
is.
out.
And the Grand National Rodeo
Must be a
continuing
hitter.
legacy and tradition.
Why are they the ones that are
They're
more
always
tense?
on time.
Oh.
Healers, we like to lounge around.
To Fiona
Oh,
Moss,
are we going to Saddle
We're
Bronc
back to
Academy?
Saddle Bronc.
Oh yeah, second section.
Lieutenant Governorship.
We got 4 guys.
Y'all want to see some more
Hank
Boys.
cowboys?
Whitaker, Mitch Pollock, Matt Sicily.
You want to see some
Hugh
more
Porter.
bucking horses? Well, if you want to see
Kingsley's
some more
Delight.
rodeo, sing it loud and sing it proud.
I bet that was named after somebody.
I literally
Do you
just,
think?
in my head,
The
I'm like,
horse?
Kingsley's Dillig.
Was it Delig?
I don't know.
I bet it's cut off. I think it's
Yeah.
Delight.
Delight makes more sense. But my brain was just like, weird name, Dillig.
So just like the timed events, it's really important that everything feels right in the shoot here before this guy nods his head.
He still
Here we
loves
go.
rodeo. He came from the silver state of
Oh,
Nevada.
that's-
I'd say, I don't know if his
Nice.
rein was too short. Did you see that?
Yeah, that horse was really throwing his
Just
head.
bucked off the
That was kind of weird, wasn't it?
College of Southern Idaho.
There's different lengths in which guys measure their bronc rein. So like some horses buck better with a, let's see here. I think that horse didn't like him having a hold of his his head that much. Or was the rein caught?
Rider friendly.
I don't know, I can't see.
The board
Horse
says
really
Sally
soured
Rand,
up.
and I'm not sure if this horse is
See, and there he goes. Once he had his head free, he just starts bucking.
Yeah.
but
So he might not have liked the hold that the guy had on his head. He might have liked having a longer rein. Because horses will buck differently
to the victory at the Santa
depending on how their head's set. And all horses' bodies are different. Just like athletes, so they'll buck better at different. So that's interesting. He did not receive a score.
No.
San Luis Obispo Cowboy just won the Feather River College Rodeo.
See, this guy's getting him ready by hitting himself.
Right.
He's hitting.
Poly Mustang. San Luis Obispo Cowboy. His coach,
What an
Ben
epic song to
Londo,
get on to.
carries their team as one of the most decorated and winningest teams in all of the
Sally Rand.
National Intercollegiate Rodeo
I wonder if
Association.
Rand is short for something.
Is it Randall?
Sicily,
Sally Randall.
I don't care what this horse's name is. I want your name to be on top.
Buddy pulling on that saddle, trying to get that horse to stand up a little bit.
Yeah. Here we go.
Ooh, look at the good
Our
spur ride.
safety team moves in, sets
Here
it to
we
the
go.
ground. Now you tell
Okay,
me
guess.
you liked it.
What's that score?
I'm gonna say they're probably gonna mark them 79.
Okay, I'm gonna guess 78.
Matt
Yeah.
Sicily, the horse's name was
Yes,
rider
I
friendly, or
did like
maybe
it.
it was Sally Rand. But all I know is this: we might change that horse's
Here's the
name
team ropers
to
coming
number
up.
1,
Easily
because that's
winning.
Marked
exactly
them
where
out.
you're at. 80 points. But all I know is this: we might change that horse's name to number 1, because that's exactly where you're at. But we are far from finished.
80. We're
yeah.
both off.
Saddle Bronc riders,
You're the closest
incredible
though.
bucking horses.
Okay, Matt
Nice.
Sicily
Moment
takes
ago, I
the
talked
top.
about
So we broke the
how
ice.
Solid
We're into
one
the
of
80s.
winningest
That was a
teams
good
with
ride.
44 national titles.
I should have had more faith in it.
National
Well,
titles,
how they
five
judged the
years
last
back.
one though, like Buddy
Yeah.
was 79 in the last round.
It
They
was
did pretty
this
decent.
man,
Huh?
Yeah, you're right.
Hugh
So I was like,
McCorder.
I like this horse's name. Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, Nelly.
Flying U Rodeo Co.
He has drawn a national finals rodeo horse named Whoa.
So Flying U Rodeo Co. is the
It's
stock
time for you
contractor
to
that
go
owns this
big.
horse. Brings him to the rodeo, takes care of him, feeds him at home.
Whisper sweet nothings. Pets her, brushes her.
Here we go. See what Whoa Nelly's about. Woo.
Whoa, Nelly.
Whoa, that's a-
indeed.
It's a different bucking pattern.
Understand
And
Hold on, dude.
Whoa Nelly thinks she's a
Oh.
bull.
Hugh. Hang on, guys.
Tough draw. Tough draw.
Okay, so that's not an ideal.
Got that horse gathered.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, looked like he hung a foot in the stirrup and lit right on his dome. He was like, help.
That horse.
let's watch this again.
Yeah, buddy.
I That did not look fun.
Fans, a moment ago we talked about the NFL and our
Yeah,
favorite team.
that's.
But I will
You want a horse to just buck off,
and
nice,
forever be a fan of the
kick out.
Cowboys of rodeo because
When they start circling back around like that, it makes it so hard to stay in the center and to keep spurring. Not that I know personally from experience.
I wish they were going to show that again.
Yeah, that looked like it hurt.
So unfortunately, he double grabbed before
He
the
looks like
second
he's-
whistle. So Q is going to.
Okay, we got one guy left here. See, he's measuring his bronc right out right now.
Yeah, it was perfect. Exactly. Really good shot.
But let's go to a man who last March inside a Globe Life Field earned his way as $1 million competitor. One of the top 5 to match up against the top 5 in the world. Mitch Pollock, he is a Nevada Cowboy, now making his home in Idaho. He is the Cowboy who has drawn a horse named Kingsley's Delight. K-Bay Country.
You must have made a mistake with this. Kingsley's Delight's out again. Must not be.
Run him back.
Run him back. He bucks good.
He came ever so close just 6 months ago.
We've seen Mitch Pollock at some of the biggest rodeos in the world.
Yeah.
He's riding for more than just money. He's riding for Mila and to make the million. Just 6 months ago, Mitchie is a brand new dad.
I think you got a little
I
hard.
was gonna say, when you gotta buy diapers, which are really expensive,
Yeah.
puts the stakes a little bit higher.
This is one of those
Ooh, not the start he probably would have wanted, I don't
this
think.
is a great
Oh, that
teaching
horse would
moment,
really give it up, too.
Yeah, looked hard to get timing on that
Did you
horse.
see him give him
Oh.
a rain whip?
No, did he really?
Hey, I don't really feel like doing this
That
anymore.
was so funny.
Not enough horse for that caliber of cowboy tonight, I don't think.
Horses buck, they choose to buck. About right there, you're going to watch this horse. The kick starts to leave, and she just kind of lopes down through the arena. We'll give for the
That horse has a strong start.
because she chose
And there's little things like, so the markout rule,
but what we
he has to have his feet above the point of that horse's shoulders when that horse leaves the chute. But when they open that gate and that horse stalled, the judges will have to actually waive that rule and you can just roll out there with them.
Oh, he did give him. Yeah.
That was so good.
talk about bucking.
So he's gonna get a re-ride. So right now he's checking the horse that he could potentially get on as his re-ride.
National titleist named Q McCord.
I should have listened better. I didn't hear why they were giving him a re-ride. Probably because the horse quit.
I think so.
She represents generations of the Born to Buck breeding program. She
But I mean, that one
represents
that
the Flying U Rodeo
You just
Company.
stood there and circled him, but he double grabbed on.
Yeah, so then no re-ride.
Being a bucking horse.
Okay, so it's Matt Sicily who's gonna be the guy to beat for tomorrow with an 80-point ride.
Numbers of cowboys to achieving their
Oh.
dreams, providing for their families 8 seconds at a time. But that horse has a purpose in life. She would tell you that her purpose in life is to do exactly what God made her to do. To be a bucking horse, but more than that, to be a mom. But that horse has a purpose.
She a mama?
I think so.
That beautiful
Bet she's
mare
looking for her.
is part of a legacy that Cotton Rosser started so many
Yeah.
years ago. But you see
Oh, are
that
they gonna let her
beautiful
baby
horse
out?
stands next to her.
Yep.
He represents
There's the
the
next
Aw.
generation of buckers right there.
See, rodeo and bucking horses, they go hand in hand.
They're gonna
Just
play
like
around.
Superstars like Tom Brady or Brock Purdy.
Aw.
They
He's
need
cutie.
a football field to showcase
Now he's
their
big. He was probably born in
a basketball court to showcase
early
his
spring.
God-given
Probably,
abilities.
yeah.
These bucking horses
Almost
need
as tall as
That's a
his
big
mom.
to
baby.
showcase what they can do. And fans, if you appreciate what that horse stands for as not only as a mom, but as an athlete, as we open up the gate and we let them out, why don't you fill our ears with a little bit of that love from San Francisco?
Amen.
That is so true. It's really cool to see the babies that these horses produce and what they end up going on to be, because sometimes they end up being the next sensation, the best, biggest bucking horse, and then other times it's not for them. Most of the times when you breed a bucker with a bucker, you're gonna get a bucker,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's just crazy to
Why
see
am I so sweaty?
what you get.
Ended
Totally.
at least an hour ago.
I'm nervous
And in
about all
anything.
these pretty girls.
Oh.
That's why. Also, I was always told that the first thing a lady looks at
You're so sweaty.
Okay, we had someone ask us, the scores in the rodeo for broncs are so much lower. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with the bucking stock that they've got. Are all the heavy hitters resting up for the NFR?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a
That's
good
brought to
question.
us by Tiger.
Boots by the bay.
I think we can speak on that.
Oh my
They just
goodness,
announced
that's a fine
the
animal that lady is wearing.
livestock that's going to be bucking at the NFR.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, this is a personal opinion, and I'm not sure if that's maybe something that they are doing, but there's obviously a lot of competition going there, and guys are wanting their stock contractors. It's like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah.
And when you get your horses and your livestock there, it's kind of the national stage where you get to show off your stock.
Yeah.
So that's a good point that maybe guys are saving up their best stock and their horses for the NFR. That's later in December.
100%. And then I think too, like this being a Flying U rodeo, it'd be up to Flying U to decide who they want, because they have their buckers, but then if they don't have enough to fill those chutes,
Yeah.
then they'll call their buddies and be like, hey, can you bring 4 horses, 5 bulls or whatever?
Yeah.
So I guess it's probably a lot of just local California stock contractors, I bet.
And the coolest thing is when there's opportunity for stock contractors or whoever to bring their horses, a lot of time this will be a rodeo where you can give a chance to the younger horses that
Yeah.
haven't been able to have that spotlight, and then all of a sudden that's where they get their first big trip, and it's like, okay, that horse is going to be
It's
something.
just like, okay, he just set himself apart a little bit.
Yeah.
100%. You're right. Yeah, kind of a proving ground for them too.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what's going on with these athletes as well, right? Like this is their opportunity to be like, no, look at me.
Yeah,
I
and
want
that's exactly. And the cool thing about the American, we've seen kids compete against some of the best adults in the world.
Yeah.
And it's because they have a setup and these contender rodeos and all of these different ways to qualify for the big money.
Yeah.
And it gives any type of athlete, I mean, we're talking about horses, bulls, or human athlete, the chance to have the spotlight shone on them to do something big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted.
Oh, that's so
But
cool.
yeah, it is really cool to see organizations like this giving opportunities.
Mhm.
People are actually legit making a living roping,
Yeah.
riding broncs and stuff.
Who
Like,
can say that they can do that?
right? Doing something you love for a
Oh,
living.
here's your event.
There we go.
Team roping.
First team, a little late on the head side. Big time heel shot though. Come on, man.
Okay, who's this? This is
Wold and Amaranth. That was a great heel shot. Like the timing of the heel shot, when that steer's feet come back is when your loop should be going under there. That steer tried hard.
yeah.
Took a little step left. Buddy was a touch off the line. I'll do better watching the score on the next one. But you could see Buddy just boom in time. Oh, that was a phenomenal shot.
Cole's a team roper, if you haven't already gathered that from his knowledge.
This is what I was born and raised into right here.
Go. Okay, so explain this from the box to the moment that the flag is dropped.
Yeah. So the header quarterbacks the run. He's the one that calls for the animal. He
He's
nods
on the
his head.
left side.
Yeah, he's on the left. He calls for the steer. He has 3 legal head catches around the horns, half a head, or a neck catch. Those are the only 3 ways you can catch the head of the animal.
Mhm.
And then he'll dally up and he goes left, and then he's in charge of handling that steer.
Yeah.
And so the better job you can do handling, opening that steer up, which means, there's nothing getting in the way of you roping his back legs, getting his back legs together. Like how you handle the cattle factors into all that. And then it's on your healer to help maintain the path of that steer. You don't want them coming right. If anything, you want them going left a little bit.
Right.
So it's your job to get out there, set a haze on that steer, and then ride a good corner to be there to heal him.
Now that steer's making it tough, hopping around like that.
Yeah. Everything kind of come left right there. Header couldn't go across the arena as well either, which kind of set that steer up to just take high hops instead of moving away from that guy.
So when you have a more narrow arena like this, because there's different types of arenas, wide, narrow, short, long, whatever it might be. But see, that didn't give that header much time to turn left.
Yeah.
So what's the challenge with that?
So right there, you got to have a pretty athletic horse, which luckily that guy did.
Yeah.
Because it'll be on that horse to where you squeeze and get a hold of that steer. Now he's got to come back up the arena. So, he's got to kind of step over himself, have the power to pull that steer with him, gain that speed to keep that steer's momentum. And then a heeler knows in a situation like this, you have to throw fast because you only get a certain amount of decent shots. We got a good run going here. Nice
Yeah, that's
run, boys.
nice.
Did we break the barrier though?
Aw.
See, you left a little early. Oh, yeah.
It's just automatic. I listen to that now. Like, that was a good run. Wait, I'm gonna wait and listen and see
Oh,
if
they
they
say
broke
hit,
the
yeah.
barrier. Ugh,
Man,
speeding ticket.
they did a good job right there, too.
Yeah.
I've seen these boys rope a little bit.
Have you?
Yep.
Okay, so they're looking to be. All these guys are open. Are looking to be either the number one, the fastest time, or the fastest time with the American qualifier side pot.
Are these guys in that? Oh, another left
This
running steer.
is.
Oh. Oh, he probably wants that one back. That's too bad.
I don't think so. Darn. Why do you say he probably wants that one back?
His header got out. Turned him a really good one.
Oh,
Like,
and he
not
kind
in
of.
an ideal spot, but like another swing over his back and you heal that one and you're probably a long 5, short 6 winning it. You know what I mean? Like,
But just one of those ones you wish you
it's
could.
one of those things.
Wow.
Daniel Green, he's a legend.
Yeah.
Big time legend. Yo.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
boys. Way to get tight. And so, yeah, with the flag drops, when the header's facing the heeler, everything, all the ropes are tight. Everything's got to be tight and looking back at each other. Those guys did an awesome job right there. That was a big reach.
Some people out there that don't watch rodeo or don't know the background of it might think, and why did they choose to make this an event?
Yeah, so like
I mean, I would. It's a good question.
if you're out on the pasture working at the ranch and you see an animal that's sick and needs some help, and there's 2 of you out there, this is the most ideal way to stop that animal and then be able to get the medicine it needs to get better. So that's kind of, all of a sudden it was like, I bet you I can catch that one faster than you.
Yeah. Then it
Here we
turns into
are.
a competition.
Yeah.
We make it fun. And it's a way of life. It really is. It's a way of life that's brought in front of thousands of people to showcase our Western heritage
Yeah.
and in our industry.
The talent of the Cowboys, talent of the horses.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Look at that. A little bit far down the arena.
Yep. Man, we're doing some healing though, hey? Like,
Yeah.
they've only missed one on the backside tonight.
That's pretty good team roping.
Yeah. 7-7, winning third.
Nice.
But he just got a ton of separation. Sent the big old gate out there. Just, oh. Here we
Jake
go.
Edwards.
Here's my guy on the backside, Jake Edwards. You're about to see the handiest dude from New York.
New York?
He's from New York. Isn't that
That's
crazy?
cool.
I bugged him one day. I was like, how'd you get so good?
Yeah.
He
You're
was
still from
like-
New York.
He's like, I left home.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how do you embrace this lifestyle while living in the big city?
Yeah.
I mean, you can. Anybody can do it, but you definitely have to get away from the bright lights.
Yeah. Yo, come on, Mike. Yo,
Hey,
there it is.
5 and 6.
I think that's splitting first. Oh, we break barrier.
Barrier.
Oh, that steer dropped his head right as he nodded. That'll kind of stall him out a little bit. Oh, not by much, man.
That looked.
Not by much.
Did he slip a leg?
Oh, really? That's what they're calling it, eh? Oh, I see.
What
So
happened?
it looked like it was just high on that inside leg, but when everything came tight, it just locked them both up. He didn't pull that leg off.
So he didn't rope both.
So he
back
roped
feet.
one hind foot, and if you only rope one hind foot, they add 5 seconds. That's a bummer. Man, that was such a good run for the boys. One. Whoa.
Ooh, reach. And a miss.
That's too bad.
That sucks. That's a big old reach.
Tried to T-weight him.
Okay, we have another question. Can you ask the hosts if they know people who rodeo professionally that got into rodeoing horses later in life?
Mhm.
That's a good question.
Yeah, honestly, there's probably more than a person gives credit.
Yeah.
Rocker Steiner's a good example. He didn't start riding bucking horses till he was 18, 19.
And I think is he the #1 man in the world
Yeah,
in the bareback
he's your
riding?
season leader going into
Yeah.
this year's national finals, really.
And he was he's a little bit different. His grandpa and his dad, I think, are past world
Very
champions.
true, yeah.
But Rocker didn't grow up rodeoing. I mean, he grew up, was he a wakeboarder?
Yeah,
Like a
world
really
champion wakeboarder.
athletic world, like, yeah,
Pretty
crazy,
nuts.
crazy on water. And then, I mean, I guess once you're that high profile of an athlete, you crave the adrenaline, and he switched from wakeboarding to riding bareback horses.
Riding the biggest, strongest horses in the world.
And just looking back to even where he's come from in the last 3-4 years, because really, even less than that, 3 years, really.
Yeah.
How old is he? He's young.
21 or 22?
And he started when he was 18
Yeah.
and just went straight into the PRCA. So he has become an all-star in a pretty short period of time.
Yeah. And somebody you'll see riding at like the big American rodeos leading up to Arlington, and then probably at Arlington.
Yeah.
He's probably already qualified.
Yeah. That is so cool. Him, and then, I don't know, there's numerous people that I would say watching one of these rodeos or actually meeting an athlete can be one of the most inspiring things, because when you meet some of these people that are competing, whether it's a barrel racer or a bull rider, and you hear their story and some of them where they've come from or what they've had to work through to be at the level that they've at or to make this the way that they make their living, it's really inspiring.
Yeah.
A lot of these stories. And it hits this feeler in you like, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to be a part of something bigger like this too.
So much sacrifice to live
Yeah.
the dream, and the community that you get around yourself entering this world. Yeah.
And when you talk to people, because I mean, it doesn't really matter. I like to ask the question, okay, if you took away the belt buckles, the trophies, the hardware, the money, everything that you win that's materialistic from the sport of rodeo, like, why do you do it? If we didn't have any of that and you were rodeoing, why do you love it so much? And they're like, the people are the absolute best part.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you can say that in every other sport. I've never been so involved in any other sport, but I think it's something special to this one.
Well, especially like you go to a rodeo, and then afterwards, a lot of times you have the opportunity to mix and mingle with these athletes, whether it be like at a rodeo after party or outside the building or the arena. Like, it's not like a hockey game or football game where these guys are so closed off from you. A lot of the times they're out in the open. They'll come see their wife and kids in the stands where you're sitting. Like, they're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's pretty cool. One of the rodeos this summer, the Ponoka Stampede, which is it's the biggest rodeo in Canada other than the Calgary Stampede, which is separate from the organization that the Ponoka Stampede is in. But I think it was Shad Mayfield I saw took his pig and string off, which is what we'll see in the calf roping later on, I think, maybe. but he took it off and he gave it to a little boy that was just looking up to him.
Oh yeah.
And
That's
you
cool.
just saw the look in this little boy's eyes, like it was the best day of his life.
Yeah, I
And
bet.
he put that string on and he wore it around and he's showing all of his buddies and it's cool.
Something like that could change the trajectory of a child's life
Oh.
forever, you know?
100%.
Here in 15 years, he's back in the box as a new tie-down roping phenom or
Yeah.
something. That'd be cool.
Shad's retired and he's talking about one of the most important days of his life was something that somebody else gave him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He looked like he was a pretty good trick roper there.
That's pretty good, yeah. Oh, he's not done with us yet.
Oh.
You got hands, you gotta get them going. He needs your rhythm. If he's gonna do what I think he's gonna do, then you're gonna love this. We need your hands going, and we need your voices too. It's time.
Oh yeah, I thought he was gonna jump through it. Yeah, buddy. Oh no. Dang, been there.
Been there. I've never tried my hand. I rope a little bit, just like at brandings and stuff on the helping family. That table doesn't look like it's too strong.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, damn, bro, just do it on the dirt. It's safer.
He's raising the stakes, and that's why he's using the table.
Oh. Well, he's gonna let this
Now what's he doing?
light it on fire.
We talked about singeing eyebrows earlier with pyro. He might do it right here.
Oh, yes.
Is he lighting it on?
Whoa!
Cool.
Jump through it. That could actually be a cool trick. Light a rope on fire, jump through it a couple
That
times.
would be
That'd be
cool.
pretty nice.
Oh, this table, man, it just doesn't look solid.
Oh, yeah!
No more leg hair.
Yeah. He just gave himself an automatic wax.
I hope those shorts are F1.
He is one of the great entertainers of rodeo. He is one of the rising stars of
Ooh.
rodeo. What say you to Dalton Morris?
Nice job, Dalton.
Oh yeah, get it.
Great roping.
Okay, I always thought if I wanted to be a contract act, what kind, like if I had to come back into life and choose what one to be, and there's
Yeah.
like multiple different kinds, you know, like a professional trick rider, a Roman rider, I don't know, like a hype man.
Yeah.
There's so many different, one-armed bandit.
Yeah.
It's just different things. What would you want to do?
I've always kind of in the back of my mind had a vision for like a saloon shootout act for a
Oh.
rodeo.
That'd be cool.
Like kind of a comedic shootout almost, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
I thought that'd be kind of fun to have two
Huh.
posses
yeah.
and just comedic banter, fun fight scenes.
With cap guns or
Yeah,
something.
100%. I thought that'd be fun.
That'd actually be kind of neat.
I'm a big fan of the idea of like the old Wild West shows,
Mm.
right? Like kind of how Calgary gets started and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
like a traveling show where it's like we're here to do cool Wild West stuff.
Oh, they're talking about this Golden Circle of Champions, which
Oh, we did
brings
that so
awareness.
far, right?
Yeah, brings awareness to children that have pediatric cancer. But they do something really cool in California, where they partner up the children of families that are struggling with an illness, and they pair them up with a rodeo athlete, and they follow them around and get to go to different rodeos and see behind the scenes and get your
Oh,
own.
that's sweet.
Isn't that cool?
You know, a little rodeo experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, 'cause we got some cool wild rigs
Yeah.
that night. Yeah.
Yeah. The Golden Circle of Champions.
Ooh, a little more breakaway.
Yeah, Breakaway. Goodness gracious, great. Oh, Sutton. Look at her game face.
Yeah, this girl's dialed in.
Ooh,
man,
that's a runner.
quite a few people hit their rope on. There's
Was she
even-
late?
She a little bit, but she tinged her rope off that right post, and there's a few people that have hit their rope on that right post. She might be riding back if she wants to talk about it. Whack right
Oh
there.
yeah.
That was a barrier. Sharp loop though. She hustled that spot.
What are we chasing? Was it a 3 and 4?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, good music at a rodeo makes all the difference.
Oh,
I'm
God,
gonna
yeah.
say that. Don't you think?
Big time.
Yeah.
You gotta set the tone.
Yeah.
You gotta keep people going.
Run!
Oh, that is a hard running sucker, eh?
Yeah, that was a fast calf. A smokester.
Smokester.
I've
Oh,
never heard
she
anyone say
was-
that.
Incredibly late too.
Darn.
That calf got an inch and took a mile.
Okay, we got Haley. Na, 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 na. Look at this cowboy hat in the stands. It's got fringe and tassels hanging
the
off
big
of it.
one.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. That kid drinking a paw back there. People watching is the best.
I love people.
Oh,
Oh,
did that go on?
I don't know.
That looked like it kind of globbed on.
Let's watch that again.
She just went to the lead.
No.
You bet.
Look at that. That must have been a close barrier.
Oh,
What?
it like hit and the tip was half on, and then as it was pulling tight, it just like sucked it over the ear.
Huh. So
Oh,
she's
yeah,
2 and
there's a
9?
3-9.
No.
She was 3-2. I
3-2.
forgot about that 2-9.
Wow. She's smiling right now.
Yeah, she is. Cheesing. Don't do it. He's like, this is about my time for snuggles.
We have a cat hanging out with us today.
You, sir, were not
We got
clapping
some
your hands.
singers with us.
They're singing.
Was that one guy singing that
Yeah.
entire
There's
thing?
one dude.
Right behind me. Yeah, go ahead. Oh yeah.
Who knows this one, huh?
Patricia, how many to go? We have quite a few in this section of Breakaway.
Is it?
Mhm. We don't have to, I don't know.
Sing it!
I'm in a little bit of trouble with that shoot down there. It looks at it. There we go.
Bold switch, I liked it. All right, Patricia, it's time for you to shine, sister.
Here we go. The chat wants to see the cat.
Jumping man.
Okay.
What a catch!
As I just so rudely pushed him away,
Yeah.
he acted offended too.
Chunky man. It's your time to shine, dude.
Oh, he's running away now. He's camera
Oh,
shy.
no.
What a run!
Oh, he's heavy.
And we had a 3-5.
He ate all of his supper today.
Cat. Rodeo kitty. Say hi,
Hello.
Chunky. Millions of viewers.
Grace
All around
Just
the
saw
world.
you.
You're now nationally televised.
She was Miss Cal
National
Poly Rodeo.
televised
She's
cute.
a rodeo queen as
What do you
well.
think?
She's studying chemistry history. College national
What's his name?
Chunky.
Chunky?
Chunky man,
Okay, this is Chunky Man.
Good youngster.
He's a very lovable cat, very large, and he's gonna go ahead and make his home right here. He's a rodeo kitty. He likes rodeo.
That's so funny.
It's kind of a nice little leg warmer.
Yeah, he was kind of a little furnace.
Okay, we're watching Grace, Chunky. Ooh, she went for it too.
Where's all the married people at today?
Show me Grace to
Who
Grace.
came to the rodeo and you're
Chunky's
married?
loved.
Make some noise. Where's all the married people at today? Okay.
Oh, just a little shy.
We're loving. I'm loving it. Hey, lady.
San Juan Bautista.
Allie
Oh!
Hoskins.
Allie
I wonder where
Hoskins.
that's at.
How about a clean run? How about
Get
a
him.
brand
Oh,
new
yeah,
number
nice.
Sharp, Luke. You get over there?
2.7?
That was sharp.
Nice run.
2 and 7. Straight to the number 1.
That was big time.
That
right
was
there.
good. That was aggressive.
It was.
She roped sharp.
Look how sharp this Luke is.
To a talented
Boom.
cowboy, the
8
mama,
curls up over him.
amazing child is
Dang.
now number 1. And Allie
This cat's just loving life.
Las Vegas.
He's looking for
Not done
cuddles.
yet, Liz Hurdy's riding a horse named Louie.
Most people complain about being past their bedtime. It's past his cuddle time.
Past his cuddle time. He's looking for.
What do we do, San Francisco? What do we do? Come on.
Look at the baby powder flying off that horse. Ooh.
Son of a gun, Liz.
I always wonder, like, okay, if you're at the first bunch of girls or if you're at the end, I wonder if they have a preference. I mean, of course, you'd probably want to be closer to the end so you can see the start and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But I wonder if your nerves get to you more knowing, like, when people rope good in front of you.
Right?
And then it's like the anticipation builds and you're waiting and waiting and waiting. I don't know. Cool.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say a cool thing about a lot of these horses. A lot of ladies that I know that breakaway, their horses are used in multiple different events. So you might see them in the breakaway roping, but some girls will use their breakaway horses in the barrel racing, and they're pretty dang good at both events.
Yeah, some can
I mean, one you really want to run and not stop, and then the other you really want to hard stop. So it's kind of.
But watch how this is a
Get
game
him.
of inches as well.
Ooh. You leaving us?
Doing everything he can to outrun. That loop just
Hey,
barely
David.
sneaks
That was a
over.
nice spot.
Right out of the hands of Devo Samuel. And
Touch
it's a
his
fourth
little
down.
legs under himself. That's cute.
Hey, I'm
Oh
kidding.
shoot!
Again, 49ers fan.
Look at this hat. That's
There you
shaped
go.
different. Whitley.
Whiteley or Whitley? Probably Whitley.
Whitley Burgess. Come on, Whit.
Adding more into the question that was asked before, I think it was Tiger that asked it about wondering if people get into horses or rodeo later in life. I feel like since Breakaway is one of the newest events to professional rodeo, a lot of women roped in Breakaway in like high school and college, and then there was no room for it at the professional level. There was only really barrel racing for women in multiple different associations. But then with it coming back, or like making its break into professional rodeo, it's kind of cool to see the people and the competitors that didn't compete for a really long period of time crack out their ropes and their horses again and
Yeah.
start competing.
All of a sudden, they kind of lit fire under them, and they're like, "Oh wait, yeah,
Yeah.
the door's open for me now." Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been really cool to see some throwbacks come back on the scene, right?
I think so.
How fast? Oh, fans, it was a roller coaster ride of emotions. It was money or
Beth,
mud
here we
for our
go.
ladies, but it wasn't for lack of
Give us
effort.
something good. Oh.
How about it for Allie Hoskins moves to the #1 spot? It was because the noise you made. It was because the
Is that it?
showed.
Handful of good runs.
Now we tell
Yeah, there's
all
some
the
pretty good
Breakaway
rounds there.
ropers.
Not as good as the team roping.
No, that team rope was on fire.
Allie Hoskins with that 2 and 7. So she'll be the time to beat tomorrow.
2 and 7.
Well, as we swing the gates
Ooh,
open
kick it off.
wide, we're going to welcome in a beautiful truck from Sedamonte Ford that is going to set the barrels up.
Oh, look at this question. What's the deal with hat shapes actually? Is that a regional thing or just personal preference?
I think a bit of both.
I do too,
Yeah.
because I find when you get into different areas and different states, like I mean a Montana hat shape is different than like an Arizona hat shape or a California
You
hat
get that
shape.
West Texas taco shape, right?
Yeah.
South Texas has their own kind of ranchy style to it.
And then people that come off of ranches, or maybe like a working cowboy or cowgirl versus just like a competitive cowboy or cowgirl, have a complete different hat style.
Totally.
And I mean, traditionally, hats are used to protect us from different weather elements, whether it be like to shade your face from the sun or your eyes from the sun, or rain, snow, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
But now they've really become an icon of Western culture.
They're a fashion statement.
Yeah.
Big time.
And anybody, I mean, anybody can go in and get a nicely shaped hat and look pretty good.
Look the part. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend you do go get a
Yes.
nice hat, right? Like,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to go spend the money on a good one.
Yeah.
Have somebody help either like fit it to your head or help you pick the right one out, help you shape it right. Like, they're kind of an investment too.
They
It's like
are.
a good pair of shoes.
I've had my hat, well, I have multiple because I was a rodeo queen, and so I probably have like every shade color under the sun. But I've had my good hats for 5-6 years that I wore like every day when I was on the road.
Yeah.
And now I'll wear them on whatever. But a good hat will last you a long time.
Yeah, 100%.
I even skied in the Cowboy downhill in Colorado and went over like a 5-foot drop of a jump. And I'm not an athletic skier. And the back of that hat slammed
Oh,
the ice and snow. And it's still here. It's still a
Hey.
good hat.
did it save your head from hitting the ice?
It actually did, yeah.
See?
So also for protection, these hats save us a little
Right.
bit.
Get that buffer.
Yeah. Well, here we go.
Now racing time.
Oh, we have that re-ride in the bronc riding, I think.
Yes, we do that too.
Great.
Alrighty, let's go. Shelby Bates. First cowgirl to go on horse.
I know. I kind of had this. I gotta kind of pee. I was wondering if we could step over for a second.
But the bar name of this horse is Sherlock.
Got to pump it up into the second cowgirl event. You can breakaway rope. You can run barrels.
Like the cat's watching from a different angle.
There you go.
Here we go, Shelby Bates. It's a pretty horse. I always find it so cool looking at the different styles of horses. Their running styles.
Right.
Holy.
This might be a pretty good run to start us off here. 14:43. It'll be interesting to see what kind of times they put up in this building.
So all of these pattern placements are different in arenas. Like, oh, nice.
Yummy.
Here we go. Okay, the anticipation that builds when you're in this alley. Oh, that's a thick horse. Big horse. Around third. All the way back. Nice run.
The horse's name is Moxie.
That is number 2 right now overall.
Nice. Look at it filled up in there quite a bit. There's lots of people sitting in the bleachers.
The horse's name is Moxie. Kelsey finishes the
Okay, asked is, what state has the worst shape? Oh.
What was the question?
Okay, so what state has the worst hat shape? Oh,
Oh, that's a tough one, actually.
because different disciplines have different hat shapes too. Man, and I don't want to say because we might have some viewers from that state that'll say, Alicia, that was rude. I don't know. I guess it depends on your preference, your personal preference.
Yeah, that's so true.
Because I'll tell you my biggest peeve is I like a nicely shaped hat that fits the size of your head. So I don't like hats that are super narrow shaped and almost look like a taco, that are like really dipped up,
Yeah.
almost right. And a state that I find always has their hats like that is Idaho. I don't know. No hate to Idaho. Love everybody in Idaho, but
I don't know if I could put a state on it, but like I feel like the reining community has those very proper, squared off, straight up type styles. So I don't know if I could do a state, but discipline, I would say reining.
yeah. Look at this next round.
Here we go.
Okay, followed up was, is Bodacious considered the top bull of all time?
Probably.
I mean, one of the most historic.
Yeah, I'd say historic for sure. Probably not. There's just been so many rank bulls since him, right? Like,
Because interestingly enough, they're breeding them. Like, you're seeing bulls in this day and age so athletic and built so well because they're being bred for perfection that you're having a hard time finding guys to ride these bulls.
I feel like this is in the same conversation of like, you know, is Michael Jordan better than LeBron James? Well,
Yeah.
different,
Caliber.
way different era of playing and whatnot. Because you're right,
Yeah.
the athletes we're building for bulls now,
Mhm.
way different than that. Like Bushwhacker, that JB Mooney would always get on in
Yeah.
PBRs, like that bull was beyond rank.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a good
That's a
That's a
question,
good
though.
question.
Yeah, because Bodacious, man, like that.
Oh.
Look at Tough Eatman. Tough Eatman, unfortunately, has a plastic face because of that bull.
Mhm. And anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, some of these animals in the Western world, whether they're bulls or horses or whatever they might be, have some track records.
Yeah, they got
And
history.
one of the most infamous bulls of all time is Bodacious. And go look it up on YouTube or wherever, Bodacious Bull and Tough Hedeman, and you'll see one of the gnarliest wrecks. Yeah, go look that up because he's a pretty cool bull.
Yeah, he was known as being pretty dangerous. His bucking style, he was notorious for pulling guys down. He was so strong that he would bring him down, and unfortunately, his head would meet you.
Yeah.
halfway.
And I mean, how do you prepare for that? You don't really. I think mentally you have to just like,
Slide and ride. Cowboy up, as they would say.
and then once you see somebody get hurt on that bull, I'm pretty sure you're like, I hope I don't draw him. I hope I
Right?
don't
Please
draw
no,
him.
please no, please no.
No, not today. You order that face mask for your helmet.
Yeah, 2 of 'em.
extra strong, double up.
Getting 2 of them. Yeah. Fast horses and tight turns.
Rad.
Dang.
Nice.
That one girl ran like a 14:27.
Was that the first girl
I
out?
think so.
So top of the ground, not that that completely has anything to do with it, but that is a variable that does affect rodeo, I guess, is being
Yeah.
top of the ground and setting the pace before anybody has a chance to dig and make marks around the barrels. You have the best ground, so
Yeah,
your
it's-
horse has an even playing field, I guess.
It's kind of like, you know, if you're on a Mexico vacation with the homies
Yeah.
and you're out on the sand, if everybody runs before you, now it's hard for you to run.
Yes, you got all these different paths,
Yeah.
and you're tripping in the path.
Pull down.
That's funny. I've never heard someone put it into terms.
It just kind of just came into my mind. I was like, how do you explain this? Just like,
Yeah.
well,
Those are some good questions. Another thing about the hat, I feel like so many people that aren't born and raised or have like a really big history or people that they know in the sport, it's like a scary thing to go and buy a cowboy hat because you don't want to get, it's just like anything. I wouldn't know what jersey to pick if I was wanting to go to a football game and like I wouldn't know what to pick. It's kind of the same thing with like going and picking a cowboy hat, or it's like you don't feel comfortable wearing it because you're not sure. But I think that's changing and times are changing and the Western culture is more accepting than ever, and we want new fans, we want people to come and enjoy this sport that is so cool and so prestigious, and so I hope people do feel comfortable to go out.
Yeah, it means something to wear that cowboy hat, right? Like it represents a lot of tradition and heritage and kind of what has helped build where we are today.
Exactly.
So it's don't be afraid to go find yourself a nice cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Get involved.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
So we're waiting for him to rake this ground before we go with the next set of barrel racers.
Yeah.
See if we can beat that time.
Yeah, it's fast.
The name of this horse. Left barrel first. It's gonna be a left turn.
All California ladies.
Turns. There's one. Here comes the other.
Here we go.
It up.
Left barrel first.
14.95.
Alicia probably said this already, but if you knock a barrel,
Oh
they
yeah.
add 5 seconds.
Just like in the team roping, if you slip a leg or. Ooh,
Do not
it's
forget
a quick stepping little horse.
now for the American Rodeo in Arlington, Texas at AmericanRodeo.com.
Okay, the old days of Western films, the bad guys. The bad guys wore black hats and the good guys wore white. Is that something that holds true today in Western culture?
That might be a little bit of Hollywood right there, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's Hollywood for sure.
Yeah, that might be a bit of a stigma.
Yeah. The good guys and the bad guys. I don't know if there's any good guys and bad guys that are definite in this culture.
Yeah.
I mean, don't go stealing anybody's cattle, but
or their hat,
yeah, or their hat. Yeah, that's also another thing about a hat.
I think what makes the hat good or bad is the guy wearing it. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Okay, did she just 14 and 23? Marin? No. Who was that?
1428.
But some of the things that Hollywood has blown up with Western films, I love. Like, and sometimes if I had to think about wanting to grow up in an era that's not this era, it would be, I'd want to be in a Western. Like, Western town, old saloon, where they had standoffs and outside the saloon doors. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of a scary world to live in.
1000% would be.
But then you'd appreciate every day a little bit more, maybe.
Yeah. Everything would just be. I don't know. I thought about that, especially working that show this summer.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
man, if this was like actually 1850
Yeah.
and it was actually cold like this outside, like I would be miserable.
Yeah.
This would
We have it
not
pretty
be
good.
fun.
What about it for the barrel racers?
Oh wow, she was a 386. Very fast. Decent.
That's a good barrel racing.
Tight at the top.
Oh, this must mean we're getting into bull riding. You might see a potential bodacious here coming up.
Yeah, let's go.
If you'll remember from earlier in the night, our
Man.
very first
Normally, sorry,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say when I asked
opportunity
a random person at a rodeo, like, what's your favorite event? What do you come here for? It's always the bull riding.
Always,
The bull riding.
Always bull riding.
for 1.1 million.
Oh yeah, we got that reride.
Oh yeah.
Pollock was that man. Mitch Pollock now wants to get back.
I think this is Mitch Pollock. I think.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Super contender qualifier that
Yeah.
you are witnessing gives him that opportunity. Big time bucker from the Flying U Rodeo Company.
Okay, I don't think there's anything better than an announcer. I don't know. It would depend, and maybe all of you out there could bring up your own scenario and think about how you'd feel in that situation. But trying to focus on what you're doing, like he's trying to make sure he's got his saddle set right and have everything perfect. But then you got the announcer in your ear, like hyping you up and talking about how you're the biggest, baddest, you know, competitor. Would that get to you, or would it hype you up more?
I think that's where it separates the boys from the men.
Yeah.
To be able to take everything that Alicia's saying and then just kind of like breathe it in and be like, yeah, watch this, right?
Yeah. Well, that's
Turn
true.
it into power.
That's where you'd have to just mentally. And some people will say, some competitors will say, I don't know, I black out as soon as my mind is just so focused on this one thing that I don't even hear anything. But I feel like I'd hear my name and just zoom.
Yeah, Vic, what? Oh yeah, no, they're talking, okay.
Yeah, right. I got a horse to ride. And the amount of mental focus that has to go into getting on a horse or a bull.
And then to think about it too, like these horses run off of so much energy, like can feel so much physically. So like when you do crawl over into that bucking chute and sit down into that saddle, like you yourself have to stay pretty calm, because if you're nerved up and feeling anxious, that horse will feel that.
100%.
And then they kind of turn on, and now you're having a bad time. So like you got to be ready and in fight mode, but also like chill and calm.
We talk about how tough horses are, and they are. Like their skin, I don't remember the exact statistic or whatever, but their skin is so tough and so thick, and same with like their hair follicles on their mane and their tail. But you think about it, they feel a tiny little fly landing on them and they swish it with their tail. So to have a rider on, which I mean is no weight, like they can hold so much, but to think about how they feel a little fly, and now they're feeling Mitch on its back and feel all of his nerves and his energy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sensory overload.
Next $1 million man. What do you say?
That was a good ride, but I'd say that horse definitely didn't make it easy for him.
Covered a lot of ground.
Covered a lot of ground.
I bet 81.
He's excited.
Yeah.
When you make rides like that,
I think that was the ride they were
scores
looking for.
like this.
Do you ever think that, and this might be completely wrong, but do you ever think that guys are like, okay, if I act more excited, like pumped up, that it'll like create a different energy and the judges will score me higher?
Really?
I don't know.
82?
82?
I like to think the crowd can pressure a judge to give another point or two, maybe. You know what I mean? They might feed into that energy and be like, yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
Or like if they save the best for last, and one of the most anticipated matchups is at the very end.
Love that, yeah.
Yeah. You can definitely get worked up into that.
I think you can do better than that. How many of y'all are ready to see the
Ooh, bring us the bull.
I am.
Have you been in one of those clown barrels before?
No, but I want to. I think it'd be fun. Just for one section of bowls, just to be out there with the boys, jacking around.
I don't know if I'd like that.
Be nerve-wracking.
I was in Pendleton one year on the grass when I was Miss Rodeo Canada, and they only have the PVC piping up for the fence, so a wind will blow and the fence will blow over, and then you're out in the middle of this field with a bull.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it. I stayed for one or two, and then I started to see some of the breakaway ropers running away, and then it just made me nervous. I'd see grown men scared, and then I got scared. It's like, I can't run fast enough.
It would take some cojones to sit down there.
Oh.
Right there against the fence and just take it in.
Bubba Greg. This bull come out around to the left. Ooh, slapped him. So, your free hand can't come down and touch the bull. Free hand is the one that's in the air. His riding hand's the one that's tied into the bull rope. And if any part of you, like if that touch comes down and touches them before the 8 seconds is over, it is a no score.
That's a big, strong bull.
Uh-huh.
Just kind of got down into that well and
Your Grand National Rodeo bull fight.
went to the point of no return. And then those guys that are standing out there, like Buddy in the red shirt, the other guy in the all black, those are the bullfighters. And their job is literally to get in between you and the bull.
So you're honestly putting your life in their hands.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's a big responsibility.
Hey, oh yeah. Every time that latch cracks. That's what I wanted to be when I grew up, honestly. When I was a young kid, I wanted to
You
fight
want to be a
bulls.
bullfighter?
Yeah.
Wow. Look at this angle here.
Ray Mail.
Ooh, right out from the get-go. We kind of knew he was in trouble from the moment he nodded his head. He didn't look like he had that great of a start on that bull.
No luck for Mayo. We're going to roll to the next buck and shoot mustard.
That was corny. That was, but I liked it. It made me laugh. Ooh, look at that. Lands on his feet.
Graceful landing.
We'll give him 100 on his get up.
Oh, absolutely.
White Noise, the name of the bull.
So, one of the first buckles I won was a steer riding buckle.
Really? Where at?
The Calgary Stampede 4-H rodeo.
Oh, frick, I got on there. So you got planted.
I was the only girl riding against, I think there were 6 other boys.
Nice.
Beat them all.
You remember your score?
No. And I think I only stayed on for 6 seconds, but I was the longest. So,
That's phenomenal.
yeah. I was the only one to ride with 2 hands. I didn't ride with one because I was like, nope, I want to win this thing.
Yeah.
I did.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go. He's going to make a ride.
Oh, buddy's got a really good seat. All day.
Oh, yeah. Look at
Nice.
whoever that is riding on the back of the chutes with them. Ouch.
Look out, baby, look out.
Qualified ride. And now you can get loud.
Yeah,
He's
I
pumped
know.
up.
I love seeing those guys in the back of the chutes get so fired up.
Ride
It's like,
with them.
That was a great bull ride.
Nice.
Bull just cranks right out front of the chute. Ooh, I'm a acting damn fool, yo. It's on.
I don't know that one.
No?
No.
Oh, man.
PBR Velocity Tour champion. Champion of the Glenville Mountain Roundup, Colby Strickland.
Nice.
Salinas,
That was good.
California.
Did we?
Wonder what that feels, just the sheer power of getting launched off of a bovine.
Did they tell us the score?
84.
84.
If you want a bull that can bring you to the top,
Bring me water. He's gonna need water after he gets off this bull.
great look inside the chute as he literally ties himself
So you have a couple guys that help you get on these bulls. You have a spotter. And his job is literally to like hold on to your belt and kind of put his hand up by your chest. So if that bull, because he's getting tied in there hard and fast, so if that bull jumps ahead in the chute or anything, there's a potential for that rider to get jerked down, and the last thing you want is a guy to get caught in that chute underneath the bull. So that guy holding onto his vest there, that's his job. Then you have another guy that helps you pull your bull rope so you can get it tight enough to then go out and make a bull ride.
And see now, I want to see that on a replay.
Right?
He looked like he was underneath that bull.
As soon as his back hits the ground, you're going to see why we cheer for those bullfighters.
Squirrely little sucker.
Watch this.
See here.
Warren picks him up
Oh.
first. Going to get his attention. Stanley's going to swoop around the back. Ray's right there. They get him tracted. They get him pulled off. Great
Boom.
job, fellas.
In trouble. Is his foot caught?
Yeah, it looked like it hung there for a second. Dang, what a crazy job.
That's lucky.
And big time lucky, eh?
When that bullfighter gets in between.
And your barrel man, Dalton Morris.
Just in case he comes all the way over here. I'm ready.
Just grabbing their attention.
Might pee my pants if he comes over here.
Don't look over there, look over here.
Cresco bucking shoot. Let's get some cash.
Double dip.
Half Moon Bay, California. Double dip is a Ross Rodeo bucker.
Dang, I could go for an ice cream dipped cone right now from Dairy Queen. Son of a gun. Rosser Rodeo, why'd you have to bring this bull tonight? Now I want ice cream.
When he's on his head, the battle begins.
And so like all that brown, weird looking stuff on his glove,
Yeah.
that's all rosin. So they put rosin on their bull ropes before the rodeo. They heat it way up. They get it nice and hot and sticky. Ooh, buddy's rocking no shaps. Go on with it. Oh,
Ooh.
dang it.
And there's different types of rosin too.
It's gonna scare him away. Watch. I'll scare the next one away.
Hey,
Dang.
hey fans, everybody
That's
in
some
the
clown
studio,
stabbers,
how many of y'all want to see Dalton move
as
back
Donnie
there
Gay would say.
to the Bulls?
I love listening to Donnie Gay commentate bull riding when he's like, "Oh, gotta stay out from underneath him."
He's
With
funny.
a brand new $100 bill today.
Look at that view from the
Yeah,
pickup
kind of
then.
cool. Best view in the house right there from those boys' seats. Oh yeah, we're gonna get a really good view of warming up the rope here.
Man to go.
This is
But now it's time to welcome in the world's
Who we
smallest
got?
and fastest bullfighter in all the world.
Hugo,
Ladies and
Oklahoma.
gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome Juan Carlos.
Whoa.
Whoa, what is that? A remote control sombrero.
Oklahoma.
Hola, ¿qué tal, amigo? Listo, listo.
Come on, Sean.
Ooh,
Go, Sean. Go,
hope he doesn't
Sean.
get bogged down in the dirt.
Who's driving this thing?
I don't know, but he's drunk.
That's how you do it.
Somebody breathalyze that guy.
What about
Go
the
on with it.
Sooner State?
Ooh, big
Bell?
move. Big
He
move.
recovered multiple times.
Get there.
Here we go.
Get there.
Ooh, that was a nice ride.
That was big time.
Yeah.
Ladies
So there's a
and
lot of times in that ride where we thought he was coming off,
Yeah.
but he recovered, changed his body position. Bull helped him out a couple of times, bringing him back into the center.
Man, he is fired up, isn't he?
He looks young. I wonder how old he is.
Oh, what a big move right there.
When we
Stan.
talk about how Bodacious used to pull guys down, that was one of those.
Literally one of those moves right there.
Yeah.
Nice. That was all trying.
Yeah, he had to
there.
work that entire ride. It wasn't a breeze.
You know, keep an eye out for that guy's name. That was a big time bull ride.
And then that bull switches directions at the end.
And then look, he hears the whistle, Buddy gets off, and Bull's like, "Okay, I'm done."
Next 8 seconds. Baba? No.
I think I was wearing a hockey helmet. Shout out CCM.
Yeah.
Keeping your dome safe on the ice and on bulls.
I should hire you.
They should. They should build me a CCM cowboy hat. That would be hilarious.
You see the hats that have like the helmets?
Yeah, those are
I've
actually
seen
kind of
those.
cool.
Bovoku. Okay, I think this guy rides. Does he ride bulls and ride horses? I'm pretty sure I've seen he's a young kid. Yeah,
Montana, man.
I'm pretty sure I've saw him.
Let's go, Montana.
There's a lot of up and down action.
Oh, yeah, there you go, buddy.
Around to the right.
Got a good old covering bull right here.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to beat that 85.
Not a lot of bull, is it?
There wasn't as much challenge. I'm going to guess 81.
Buddy's fired up.
What are you
81? I'm going to go 82 and a half.
Okay. You got it.
Pretty close. right
Man,
there.
my betting isn't very good today.
A two-time college national finals rodeo qualifier.
And how many do they take from this? The top two?
Yeah, so they'll take the champion of each event, and then anybody that's entered in the American qualifier side pot, they'll take the champion of that as well. Yeah.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Get a little square. Man, that'd be so rough on the legs, dropping down into that sucker mashes around.
Imagine the amount, by the end of a season, the amount of bruises and cuts and wounds you have on your legs.
And then, like, no recovery time, just rolls right into the next year. Like, that's the thing with rodeoing, is it, especially in the States, not so much in Canada. Like, our season in Canada is like end of March till now, September long weekend
Yeah.
is technically the cutoff. But these guys, you know,
All year.
their PRCA schedule ends at the end of September, and 2025 started October 1st. Like,
Oh,
nuts.
that's crazy. Back in Black. I like this name. Ooh,
Ooh,
ditched him.
sunfished him right there.
Oh, look at the
Look at
pinata!
Get him!
Woo!
Oh! Get out of there, Juan Carlos.
They need to hire him as the fourth bullfighter or the third.
Phenomenal, dude.
Holy.
Just shot the gap. What a play.
Was he operating it from inside the barrel?
He's gotta be. But like,
Oh, he knocked him
oh!
over. Was that a premeditated knockover? Yeah.
It kind of
It started knocking.
Out of the section of bull riding, Sean Bennett, Eric Nova, as well as
Yeah.
He got scared.
We should call it. Looked at him, he fell over in fear. That's so funny. That hat was hilarious.
Oh, that's funny.
Not bad, not bad.
Okay, so 85's leading charge. Toro.
And now we have Manuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Closing ceremonies in Manu.
Giveaway time.
Flying Frenchman.
Because it's
This
time
will be good if they have
to
him.
give away one of the most coveted prizes
What does Buddy
of
have?
professional rodeo. It's the Flying U Rodeo.
Oh, is
this
he
is
fan
probably-
of the night?
Yeah, probably fan of the night.
Of the night.
The thing that I've never won. Yeah.
But before we do that, we're gonna hype you up a little bit. I got some Cow
That
Palace
it is.
t-shirt. Who wants a t-shirt?
Nice. Gonna get it?
Noise. I wish they could come through the screen.
Right? Over here.
We can pretend. Maybe that's something they'll have in like 2045.
Right. Tell it. You're just sitting here and all of a sudden just like,
T-shirt
t-shirt.
smokes you in the-
Oh. One of the bull runs I worked this summer, they were giving me like those small Milwaukee tape measures and stuff. I'm like,
The
you-
throw?
I'm like, you want me to throw tape measures into the crowd?
That's
They're
asking
like,
for a
yeah, do
lawsuit.
whatever you want with them. So I was like, all right. I was just going up to young kids. I'm like, hey, you want a tape measure? I'm like, take that to your dad.
Build some stuff. Measure twice, cut once.
Mhm. Keep somebody in the bag. That's always
I
fun.
watched all night long, and I found a couple people. They're
I don't know
all
what kind of toys you had to play with when you were a child, but it wasn't anything extravagant, I guess.
You guys have been awesome. But I've also found a person on this side. That person is not paying attention right now.
Okay, but how do you pick the fan of the night?
Hey, guy in the pink
They look good.
alley. Will somebody grab him?
But I mean, like,
Good group over there.
know that we actually are not done rodeoing yet because what you're about to see is a purebred Spanish fighting bull in 4 men about to show you some unbelievable things. So you are not going to want to move a muscle. As soon as Dalton gives away this Yeti, you go ahead, brother.
Because of your beautiful outfit.
oh,
Here we
they're
go.
having it.
You've been
Okay,
having fun all
so
night. You are
everyone
getting
watching,
fan of the night. Give
we're
it up
about to
one
see
more
the
time.
coolest, dangerous sport on
So
earth.
fans, if
Yeah,
you've got a
like-
camera, you're going to want to get it out.
It is
Because what you're
absolutely
about to see
insane. The bulls that they're about to bring out are not like the bulls that we just saw buck out of the chute. They are bred specifically to basically be headhunters.
They are Spanish fighting bulls straight out of not Portuguese, Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're mean. Like, they smell fear. They do.
And they distribute it.
And they are ruthless. No giving up. I mean, they choose to put it at the end of the rodeo, I can almost bet, because it's not safe to let the bulls off of the trailer until everything is complete. Because they look for whatever they can destroy.
And sometimes fences aren't enough.
Bulls also jump. Bulls can jump really high.
True.
They can. I've seen it. We've seen it at rodeos before where they've jumped a fence.
Jump into the crowd. It's some wild times.
Yep. So, moral of the story, wear your running shoes.
Introduction, and we welcome in a man who upholds the tradition
Okay.
of the Recordadores,
And there's so many. So I think this is called a salute to the crowd, and at the end of it, you'll see them do a salute to the bull, where they honor the bull in a way, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Cool to the culture and cool to the sport itself. But
Imagine having that kind of connection with an animal that literally would take your life.
I can't
Like
actually.
if given the opportunity, you would not think twice.
Oh, I know. It's wild. But cool to show the athleticism and the way that a human can read the mind of a bull, because it's just you and the bull out there. That's it. So, man versus beast.
It is where it was not the bear, it was not the lion, it was not even another man who
And
was
in a
the most
2-piece,
feared
3-piece tux at that.
It was a
Yeah.
purebred
Do you think that
Spanish
looks
bull where two men
easy to move around in?
go
It looks
toe-to-toe
hot.
with these unbelievable animals.
Yeah.
Now it is time to meet a man who is absolutely mind-blowing with what he's going to show us. Get loud for Baptiste Bull.
They're only gonna let one out at a time, right?
Yeah. Because if they let
Sure.
2 out, I don't know.
Sure.
And then
So watch these guys. I bet they got.
at
Who's
the
this?
origin of the story that we're telling you about
Don't know him.
the Spanish fighting bulls. At the origin of the story, when it was simply one man and one bull, and he would run full on towards that bull and fly over him. Today, in the year of 2024, it is the sole
They're high-fiving because they don't know if they're gonna ever get to high-five again.
Right?
of America.
Good luck, brother.
He started his journey as a bull jumper at just 14 years old. Now he has fought over 1,000 head of Mexican fighting bulls. He is from Montfort, France.
He's warming up.
He
He's
is the
stretching.
mighty.
Yeah.
He is the
The nerves are starting to hit.
He's like, oh no, I like the talking.
It's like, maybe I can just sprain my ankle in the first run. Vet out.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready to watch them do battle, make some
He's
noise.
such an OG. Manu's a great guy. In and out of the arena, and he's an athlete.
For the first
As you
time
can see.
in
Boing.
history,
Boing.
you are seeing these 4 men on U.S. soil show you the spectacular things that they are
And I've seen Manu in the past, like, he will do tricks with his legs tied together, and a bull will be running straight for him, and he'll do a flip over top, but the ground has to be perfect.
That's crazy.
with razor sharp
If
hooves,
it's too deep, you get caught in it.
Oh.
muscles
Uh-oh.
pulsating
That
through
would-
their bodies.
That'd be the
You are going to
worst
watch
feeling.
these
Here
men
we go.
put their own lives on the line to showcase
I'm
their
excited.
talents and traditions for you. If you're ready to watch them work, you need to tell them something right now.
It's a sweet coat.
Yeah. Here we go.
How nervous do you think that guy that's about to open the chute is?
You want adrenaline?
He's planning his escape route.
You want the wild?
He doesn't
Wild
look
West?
nervous. He's putting on a good front.
The traditions of rodeo are 200 years
Yeah,
old.
see how he's looking into the chute? He's just ready. He's
You
gonna
ever
pick
smell him?
something.
He's like,
and run.
Are
There's no fear
3,000
everywhere.
years old, and the traditions live on today.
It's a good camera shot.
Whoa!
Oh, there you go.
Manu
Oh,
Latona
yeah.
flies
Oh,
over.
dude, look
Oh!
Watch
He
Baptiste.
saw him behind that chute. I wouldn't have thought. Look at him.
So
Whoa!
Baptiste, sport, who you just
See another
witnessed,
guy
will literally
down there?
stand in one spot. He can only go one step to the left or to the right.
Oh, he's
Now
coming
you
back.
see Mika Romero, the Recordadones, show you.
Oh, go Manu, go!
Ooh, takes a shot.
Oh man, look at him.
Takes a
He's
shot.
mean.
You don't think this is dangerous?
Here's Miko.
Oh!
He got it.
Mika's gonna shake it off.
Took
Here
a
comes
big
Baptiste.
shot.
Dax France is where he
I
calls
can
home.
kind of see it coming.
Manu, jump! Manu is like,
Tries
he can
to
really
push.
jump.
And then he gets vertical.
Right now, this bull is thinking about an
Man.
easy victim.
Here we go.
You gotta be out there
He's back in the fight, trying to help his brother in
and
the
get it
arena out.
to like far enough to get that bull to commit.
And then hope that
And
he
then
stays
you,
on track with
yeah,
you.
and then you have nowhere to go.
There's
Here he
nothing
goes.
you can do to these animals to
Maybe.
make them the way that
Damn,
they
he's
are.
already tired.
There's no amount of violence that they've ever experienced.
That's something about these bulls too, is they They tire out really easy, this specific
Though they
breed.
may be
They
herbivores,
go
they
like
are apex
Mach
predators,
10.
to say the least. There's no
They get their
animal
sights
that
set
would
on you.
ever
They're coming in hot.
dare try to combat them. But a human with his wits, with his athleticism, is ready to show you. Here's Guy Saji with the modern day Recorredores. He has performed on the biggest stages in Spain. He now
Wonder what
makes
they're
his
waiting
debut
for.
in the United States. Oh, did you see that?
Maybe for him to find the next guy at
You
the end
want
of
to
the
talk
arena.
about nerves of steel? What do you
Here we
think
go.
about
Oh, yeah,
that,
right here.
San Francisco?
Oh, that was
That was
good.
sweet.
So you'll remember Miku just took a shot, but he is trying to help now his brethren. They will line this bull out
That
again.
last move was pretty cool.
That was-
Baptiste and Manu line
Old
up.
buddy's out there with the cape.
Baseball bats for horns. Some of the most muscular animals in the world. is
See, they
what
just
you
got
will
a
see.
different demeanor. They're so
Manu lines
just
up
trying to get
with
his
the help of
attention
Baptiste.
so that he can set Manu up for a trick of some sort.
A little slingshot engaged. Come on, dude.
Imagine just
Okay, I heard that bulls are actually colorblind.
Yeah, that's true.
that woke up and chose violence.
It's like they're just having a little bit of trouble getting this bull's attention.
They can be tough. Like these fighters, you know, they want to just eat everything.
Figured up to go.
So when there's a lot going on around them, it can be
Manu
tough.
coaching his brothers in the arena.
It's like having ADHD
Yeah.
and walking
Yeah.
into a grocery store.
Being really mad with ADHD.
Yeah.
Right now, oh, watch him, Manu.
And then too frustrating for them if they can't get this bull to cooperate. But I mean, they're animals and they have a mind of their own. So,
Oh, finally got him to move, but
woo!
unfortunately not to do a trick.
My palms are sweating, Anthony. And I'm not in that arena.
And this animal, they are so smart. They are so smart. At some point, here we go.
Looks like they're all telepathically communicating.
Baptiste
know.
says, I want some.
Imagine if you tripped.
Remember, Baptiste
Stub your own
literally
toe.
puts himself in a box. Oh, that's never a good sign.
Now we're choreographing a dance routine.
That is never a good sign.
Yeah, walk to
Oh,
him.
here we go.
Walk to him.
Whoa, he's mad.
Come on, big boy. Go to him.
Here we go. That's like the telltale sign in storybooks and movies and westerns when a bull starts pawing at the ground and lifting the dirt. He means business.
You're in trouble.
But I don't know, I think this one's bluffing us.
This one's like, did you call my mom a cow?
He tries to bait Baptiste into coming to him closer. He says, you step into my box.
Yeah, see, he friggin' gets distracted so fast.
Wow! The full spin! Are you not entertained?
Yeah, see now he's.
Yeah. Whoa! Dicey.
Here we go. Whoa. Oh, he's coming back for more. Manu, go!
Coaching,
Woo.
guiding. These men respect these animals.
I've seen these bulls completely tear into like all the paneling that's on the outside or the inside of the arena.
Oh.
Just like tear down the
Rip off banners.
rip off all the banners.
That bull wants to go to the American
They do
Rodeo.
respect them.
He's reading all about it.
Ooh.
Ouch.
So
Ooh.
right now, I don't know
Right
what they're
there.
saying, but they are figuring something else out.
He's crazy.
What is going to happen here? makes his way down.
I wonder if they have another bull, if they're just trying to get him out, and then they have another bull that they're
Manu!
trying to get out of the chutes to fight
Look
too.
at this!
That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah.
What are you gonna tell Manu
But yeah, now
Lataste?
how do you coax that sucker to the out gate? Oh, I guess maybe like that.
Whoa!
There it is. Big
flip.
time jump.
The
Look
gate's
out, boys.
open, the bull can leave, and he said, no, 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 no.
There we go. Yeah, I think they're opening the gate and trying to get him out. The hardest part is getting him out, probably. Like, look at the gate's wide open, but he doesn't want to go back home. He wants to stay in that arena. I need my inhaler.
One thing to let him into the arena,
Yeah.
I just in the middle of the arena.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in history,
There we go.
Oh,
you just witnessed four
oh,
of the most unbelievable athletes all in one arena.
There we
on the
go. Good
soil
job,
of the
Manu.
United States of America. You watch
Oh, get that good shot.
You watch Mika Romero.
Did you see me? It's like,
You
oh,
watch
thank you.
Valerie Ford, and you watch Manu Lataste. If you enjoyed what they showed you on this night, as they line up before you, it matters not what I say, it matters what you say.
Manu looks tired.
Ladies and gentlemen,
There's Buddy that got bulldozed.
Yeah.
that was
I want to see that
unbelievable.
replay.
Yeah, me
That was
too.
a perfect
So
win
now they're still
and an
looting.
extraordinary
Bull
night
read that play
at the
big.
American
Holy.
Super Contender here at the Grand National Rodeo.
That was a good rodeo.
Yep.
It was a really good rodeo.
I have one final question. How did you enjoy a Friday night at the Cow Palace? Well, my name's Anthony Alicia from Weatherford, Texas, and it truly has been my honor and privilege.
That was a good rodeo.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Make sure you go check the
Contender
results
series
for
day
Rodeo
one.
Picks.
Look at this horse is feeling his Wheaties
Yeah, he
today.
wants to give. The old gray out front's just like, nah, bro.
This is the time where we just take it all in.
I'm in charge.
As well as go to American Rodeo to get your tickets now for Pro Rodeo's richest weekend happening April 11th to 12th. What started 76
Thank you for
years
coming. Live music in the North Hall. Sounds like the party is just getting started over there.
this palace was built,
Cali party.
and now we make it a fun night once again. Cotton
Dang, well, that was fun.
he's smiling from the
I
Well,
enjoyed that.
on behalf of both Cole and I, thanks for tuning in. I'm Alicia Erikson. You can follow me on Instagram, socially Alicia, and Cole's got his own platform too.
Yeah, check me out, Cowboy Cole. Cowboy spelled with an I, not a Y. Come follow along. We're having lots of fun over there. We had fun spending time with you guys.
Join us tomorrow, same time, same place, and we'll be back here with Chunky the cat. So
No rodeo action. Don't go far.
see you guys soon.